for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. From the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, well, we'll be all right.
I had to freestyle the beer notes.
Love to hear it. Sounds like we're about to have that kind of episode. Dude, I actually had some notes, too. Like, I was excited about my notes. Like, they're no different than any other week. I was just excited because I was like, yes. All right, well, so what I've been doing is I've been typing them and texting them to myself, but not hitting send. Now, wait till Friday to hit send. I had a rack of notes this week. Somehow they deleted. And now I'm like, fuck. So I had to try to go off memory yesterday. I was like, whatever. Fuck this. Yeah, fuck all of this, yo. It's just stupid. Fuck this game. So Phillip Rivers is fucking again.
So he had more kids?
His wife's pregnant with number 10.
I thought you were about to say he's trying to make a comeback.
He clearly is trying to make his own team. So
there's some rumblings of Brady coming back. I don't think it's going to happen.
Dude, just stop.
Maybe, though, now he's like used to the fact Giselle left him and he's kind of liking it.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's like,
you know what? I can go play football again.
They said cool. He was dating someone. I can't remember.
I don't know what that meme's from, but that meme of him doing that look back is hilarious. It's like when it reminds me of just being at like a function with, and then you show up and there's no one you know, and then your bestie comes in.
And you turn around. you give the look like, yes, this motherfucker showed up finally. Or even better, it's like when you weren't expecting them. It's like you look, I was like, oh shit, oh
yeah. I think I remember having that moment of a wedding of your former neighbor. I just happened to go to last minute and then saw old Adam unexpectedly. I was like, oh, I'll go hang out with you at the bar.
Nice.
And that became fun. But before that, I was like, I don't know a single person.
So I remember going to one buddy's wedding, and he's a good friend. He's a good friend. His wife is lovely, and it was for sure the fanciest wedding I've ever been to. Like, I felt like an adult at this wedding. Like, I didn't know how to act. And then I look up and saw Lale. And I was like, oh, shit. Now it's good. And then I saw LP, and I was like, oh, my Lord. It was like, it was a good time after we, like, established, like, okay, all right, Orange Brown, we're here. It was like, there were other cats there, but they weren't, like, I wasn't really, like, friends with them. But it's like, Lel and LP, it was like, okay, I know these motherfuckers. So it was a fun time, but initially it was just me and Sarah. It was like, great. This bitch ain't even drinking.
Yeah, I don't want to go to a wedding if there's no drinking.
Dude, I'm trying to think. I know I had to have been to at least...
I've only been to a few, but there was one where the reception was pretty tame. I mean, they did have drinks, but it was like no one was getting down.
So when I went down to Florida, my friend Nicole and Mike, I didn't drink there just because the only people I knew there was Nicole and Mike. So I just was like, it's probably best that I don't drink and then really cut in Florida. So I was like, nah, let's just chill. So meanwhile, the chick at our table who had vitiligo, she drank enough for everybody. Like, it was actually like her husband, like, he's talking to us later on. Really nice guy. But the lady, she was just so angry and mean and bitter. And he was explaining how, like, dude, like, you know, she was like, she was fucking prom queen. She was beautiful, da-da-da. Then the vitiligo just started really fucking with her. And I was like, damn, dude, that sucks. You might want to get that glass of wine before she stabs you, though. I'm just saying, she looks like the kind of person that would stab someone, and you're probably first. I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, like, I think the drunkest I've been at a wedding was a winter's wedding. Just because, no. I think Teresa, maybe winners. I don't know. Because Teresa's, I started drinking like right away. And I don't think I'd ever had champagne. And I didn't realize it hits you that, it's quick. And we were way up the stairs, and I'm coming down. And I guess the lady who was like the wedding planner, that sounds like a fucking J-Lo movie.
Or Adam Sandler.
Oh, was it?
Well, he is the wedding singer, but he just has movies like
I
that.
wish there was a
have
wedding
like
singer. There wasn't.
Title of what you are.
Yeah, that's dumb.
The water boy.
Yeah.
The wedding singer.
Little Nicky. Like, yeah, all his movies are titled. Fuck that guy.
He playing the janitor.
Except for Uncut Gems. That shit was great. But,
it was unexpected for his roles.
but he fucking nailed it.
Especially when he got shot in the head. Is that where he got shot?
Yeah. Dude, oh my God.
That was unexpected.
The anxiety build up.
I'm not used to seeing Adam Sandler.
Getting shot in the head?
Yeah. He's usually making some weird sounds, winning in the end.
But no, like, I remember I had like a fucking, some kind of alcohol and Coke. Oh, I asked for a Jack and Coke. They were like, well, we don't have Jack, but we have Maker's Mark. And I was like, I'll take it, whatever, dude. Just fucking get me drunk.
Sounds like with the Fells Point bar we walked into with the cans.
They seem it. Yeah.
Like, we got some.
We got this.
We got this. All right. That shit would have been served in a plastic cup. A red Dixie cup for a shot.
Love it. I was sitting there like, I think at this point I'm on my third or fourth drink, and I'm like, one of Teresa's aunts comes up to me. I don't know what the fuck she was talking about, but she was just going and going, and the ice was melting in my drink, and I'm looking down like, oh my God, lady, please. And I go back to the bartender. I was like, hey man, can I get another one? Because like the ice melt. He was like, I already get it, dude. Here, take it. I was like, yes. All right. But that one, I got fucked up pretty bad. Like,
and I'm thinking about if I get married and it's open bar. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not going to be. Are you expected to do things that night?
I think the ideal is like, yeah, we should go consummate the marriage. It's like, right. Bitch, you going on a honeymoon?
Because that's not going to happen if we have open bar.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to be like lucky if I make it back to the room.
What was it?
Because that's going to be a party.
Dude, like, have an open bar. Hey, look, just.
That's my only requirement. I don't need food.
Yeah.
We'll get some pizza.
I'll chip in on the pizza, son. I got you.
Get some pizzas in the corner, but then it'll be like the most epic bar over here.
I don't know if I ate at Winter's wedding. Because I know that shit. I got there at 11 a.m. because we had to all start like, I don't know why I had to be there that early. I have no idea why I had to be there that early. Like, we just, like, Winter, Lou, Jason, Spencer, that's the other one. It was like we all just kind of sat around while Lex and her crew were getting fucking dolled up. Then Lex got mad because we started getting drunk early. He was like, all right, no more alcohol. Then one of her bridesmaids was like, she comes over and was like, hey, there's a liquor store up the street. Because like Lex like cut it off. She was like, no more alcohol. Like, she told the staff, like, lock it up until, the reception. Word. So Jess comes and was like, there's a liquor store right down the street. Who wants to go on the mission? So I don't think she gave the money. And Spencer drove. Because he had like real estate signs in the backseat of the car. Which is weird. So, because I remember there's a picture of Lou like wrestling with a sign. I don't know. It was fucking weird. And we get there. Just fucking grab some beer, some bottles. And I think just said specifically 2 bottles of wine. I was like, all right. Got back. Continue partying. Lex was pissed. Don't care. Then after that, I think, the wedding stuff happened. I don't know. All I know is like when it was time to like walk, like, after the vows and everything was said, like we walked up like groomsman and like bridesmaid. Is weird because I got paired up with the black chick. It was kind of fucked up. I mean, Jason was black too, but it was like, I don't know, like, it was like I was in that moment. I was just like, I did like a little hop step, and like Kim was like, "Come on, girl, what you doing? Get my arm." It was like, I'm just trying to get this fucking liquor, yo. And then from there, sky's the limit. Get fucking alcohol poisoning, I'm pretty sure. And then, oh yeah, that's why we went out somewhere because we were in like Frederick or something. And I think like afterwards, surprisingly, Sarah was like, "Yeah, let's keep partying." I was like, "Really?" So we kept partying. It was like a weird like town, like some kind of main street or some shit. Like everything was closed, so we just went and got pizza. Then went back to the hotel room.
I've only been in downtown Frederick once. It was similar to like it's a little bit like a downtown like Fells Point a little bit, but mostly white people.
Seems about right.
People really like it. I've only been once. I don't feel like I can give a fair judgment on my one time going.
I've heard positive things about it, but only from white people.
Yeah, maybe because I'm not all the way white in my taste.
I'm not going there.
So I wasn't feeling it, to be honest.
Like I would say, let's go, but I think I need more than just you. Dude.
I'd rather go to just Fells Point.
I want it. I want to go on an adventure. I want to see it, but I need at least 3 white folks. And I feel like
I don't have white friends. I got one. He never comes out.
I mean, I have white friends, but I think it's kind of the same thing.
He would fit in there.
I think he'd have to be our tour guide.
He might actually go because it's be like, oh,
that's a hike, though, man.
Oh yeah,
Like-
might as well like. Plus, yeah, if you're gonna really get down, I wonder if there's like a hotel.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, there are places like I could just be like, "Hey, yo, we got to come through and crash on the floor," but it's like there's a risk. They may not be home. They may be out doing shit. They may be fucking. I don't know. So I'd rather just say, you know what?
Hagerstown.
Nah,
They used to have-
not doing Hagerstown.
No. I'm just thinking that area. The only time I would go down that area back in the day was the Hagerstown outlets. That was like a big deal back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, we used to all make the drive. Let's roll up there to the outlets.
That's how you got your shopping for the year if you're a guy.
And honestly,
The
though,
Nike outlet.
it
I'd always
didn't-
be disappointed.
Yeah.
I'd have big plans like, oh, yo, I'm about to get like 10 basketball shorts for like $10, and I go there ain't shit.
Yeah, I went to, was it the Nike? Yeah, the Nike store. And I still have the Under Armour shirt. I went up in there. I was like, yeah, I'm about to fucking do some damage. Nah.
I think the only thing I purchased good, I believe the Nike outlet was where I got the Colompton jerseys.
I just pulled that up. Almost posted it. I was like flipping through through Facebook, and like a bunch of shit came up. I put one of the posts up when we went to Jedi Mind Tricks and La Coca Nostra. I was like, oh shit! And then right
you
under
know
that,
it's funny because when I recently saw Jedi Mind Tricks, I was wondering when that was. Mystery solved, 2012.
What's fucked up is I posted and I still didn't know the year.
I was like, damn, that was old. But yeah, that was a good show. And it's funny because I wasn't a huge Jedi Mind Tricks. I'm more of a fan now than I was back then of them.
Yeah.
And I just remember it stood out of the dude from Jedi Mind Tricks. His forearms were freaking huge. I mean, he's a chubby dude.
A lot of jerking off.
But yeah, I was like, his forearms are abnormally large. But yeah, that did. So I think I've seen La Coca Nostra a few times. Was everyone there? So the one that's usually wasn't there is Lethal.
I'm gonna.
So I know I went once with Neps, and Lethal was there. And it was rare of him because he's in.
I mean,
Limp
if I
Bizkit.
had to guess, I would have said that he was there. But I'm gonna be honest.
I think there's a chance he wasn't.
Right.
And they would tour of DJ Eclipse, who was the non-fiction DJ. Everyone else was there, though.
I don't be knowing shit. I don't be knowing no shit. No shit at all. But yeah, like when I posted that, like right under that post, for some reason was the Colompton jersey.
Oh, yeah. So my Facebook feed that same day was me also doing the same thing of saying we're at the show on Facebook. But it was like our first softball team win.
Yes. Yeah, that
shit
too.
was funny because that was a big deal because it was a long time coming.
I think it was like season 2 or 3 or some shit. It was like, oh my God.
I was like, we actually won.
Yeah, I almost posted that, and I was like, nah, let's leave this one out.
But that had to have been the Friday league, because the Monday league,
No,
we
the
won some games.
Monday league, we were decent. Like Monday league, I think we're like top 2. Like we were one of the top 2 teams. Like
we had a winning record.
We were slaughtering teams at times. It was like, oh my god. But that Friday league, man.
I think we lost 2 straight seasons of 0 wins.
Oh yeah, yes, positive.
And then even when we won, it was like the worst team ever. Like,
well,
there was actually a team worse than us.
They didn't have a win either, so we split.
I do remember that.
Like we won the no, they won the first game, and they were excited, and then we won the second game. It was like, oh my god, like yay!
Yeah, we were wondering why they're so excited. Like everyone beats us. Then we look at the standings after. We're like, oh shit!
But I think both teams came in like made the teams with the same idea. Like we're just doing this for a fun activity, to go drinking afterward.
Yeah, and I can see also from the post, because that day had a bunch of posts.
Mm-hmm.
That was during the time we had to freaking recruit people.
Yeah, because Lita.
Yeah, she was saying how she's there.
Yeah,
and it was like I remember when she played, was like we really were short girls.
Yeah, I think like we've had to recruit Lita, we've had to recruit Teresa, we've had to recruit. There was someone else. So I don't know.
Did Jackie ever play? I know we asked her. Second chance to bartender.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
So I remember that's where we do a lot.
I think we did ask her, but she didn't play.
A sister of a coworker played.
Yeah.
Like that last season was, I believe, no actual girls from the actual team were on it. The last season.
Like I know the one coworker's sister was an honorary fucking team member. She played more games than not.
The last season, the coworker became pregnant, so she couldn't play anymore.
Yeah, which
and
is
I think you didn't play that very last season.
No.
There was no one left.
So I showed up to a couple games, and I remember like just it was like, oh wow, like because
we had no pitcher.
I'm trying to think. I remember like no, I went to one game, and I think that was it. Was like okay, I recognized people, but I was like, oh wow, like you're on the team, but you could see like blonde chick. Like I'm trying to think. I don't know that broad's real name. I just called her Casper all the time.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. That's a good nickname though. Shouldn't say names. Casper.
She was Casper because she didn't have a smell. So she was a ghost.
Oh, I thought it was because she was pale or something.
That doubled up too. But she I remember seeing her, and I could already tell, oh, you're not here to play. You're just here like, oh, it's a team activity. Like, I want to drink afterward. Like, bitch, shut up with your fake titties. You act like nobody knew. We knew. I knew. Go look.
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't.
Oh well, I be stalking Facebooks, yo. I was like, yo, why are your titties so much smaller in this picture? And then like the next picture, like 2 weeks later, they're much bigger. She was proud of. I was proud of them too. So, there's that. The good old days. Let's rate this beer.
All right. Challenge accepted. That's the name of the beer. By Evil Genius. We've had a few by them.
Yeah.
Where are they out of? Didn't get that note.
I'm going to guess Missouri.
That is a good guess for beer.
Yeah.
Missouri, like all those middle St. Louis, Kansas City, St. Louis. Why is Missouri the beer town of America?
I don't know. Missouri shouldn't be like anything.
Yeah.
Like
I would never have heard of it if it wasn't for beer.
I can name 3 cities in Missouri, and most people can't even give you that. And I bet most people in Missouri can't give you that. They're just like, I don't know. I live here in St. Louis. I live in Kansas City.
That's the 2 I know.
Like I live in Ferguson. Ferguson isn't one that you should know for good reasons.
Evil Genius. All right, so it's a hazy Imperial IPA. Wow, we search Evil Genius. Some weird things come up. Apparently there's a movie on Netflix called it. Looks pretty spooky.
Oh, sign me up, doggy.
All Looks like Napoleon Dynamite and Jeffrey Dahmer mixed together. What came up?
I'm down.
All right, Philadelphia, PA.
That was my second guess.
Actually, I do remember. Been to Philly twice. No, the second time was fun. The first time, not so much. Like I said, I think I was in that touristy spot. It's like if you went to Baltimore and you ended up at Power Plant.
Yeah, it's not hateful, but it's not.
It's
I mean,
not the
it depends on
Baltimore
what you're looking
experience.
for.
That's
though.
like the touristy spot, though.
Well, also depends on what you're looking for. I mean, like, because we know the area, like, oh, we want to go to Fells or Fed Hill, Canton, something like that. But
I like those hole-in-the-wall bars.
Well, exactly. Not everybody, a lot of people might be like, oh, I want to go where there's a lot of action.
I do like whatever that bar is with the beer pong.
Yeah, I don't know what the
set
fuck
up.
that place was.
I never know what the name is. I know where it is. It's on the bottom.
Like, I think of bars like I think about, like, TikTok. I don't know who I'm following. I don't know what bars I go to.
That right side kind of all blurs together because you could, like, walk right into the other bar. You don't even realize you switched bars. Because they're, like, connected.
I don't know how many bars are over there.
There's the horse...
Yeah.
Not the horsey road. That's a
PBR.
The PBR.
Then there's
the pretzel joint.
is it Beer Garden?
Yeah, the beer garden.
Those are the only two I can tell you.
Yeah, the Rock Bar. I believe one's called the Rock Bar.
That makes sense.
And I believe that's the one I believe that might be the one with the beer
Yes,
pong.
it is. It is.
Then there was the piano bar, but I don't think that's there. And then the dueling.
No, it
piano.
it is there.
It's still there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's still there, but
Yeah, I don't think it's. I
it
don't
is probably
think
gone.
so.
COVID killed that motherfucker.
People were like, "What the hell are these dueling pianos?"
COVID said pianos not in
Yeah,
this
they were
town.
doing rap battles on the piano.
Have you seen Scary Movie 2? Like where they played fucking Mystical on the piano. I was like, oh my god. I guess it does make sense.
Yeah, I remember going there with our work group and requesting straight out of Colompton. They didn't play it. It's fine.
Fuck
I
them.
gave them $5. They just took it.
Damn, I don't know what the fuck's going on my TV, but jiu-jitsu.
Probably not the easiest song to play on the piano.
Yeah, it is.
What? Oh, and then Ram Said Live. That's a good music
Okay,
venue.
yeah,
and
yeah,
then right before you get to Power Plants, the Soundstage, which is also a good venue for concerts.
Yeah.
I saw Talib Kweli there, and that's when I
Nice.
drank. Twice I went there. Now that I think about it, it was a club missed before. I've told you that story of like I had drank a lot the night before. Went there with Juan, and we were both like, "Let's chill tonight." I'm just getting 2 drinks. Me too.
That's
2 rum
how
and
that
cokes.
already no, if you start with rum and coke,
Obliterated off 2 rum and cokes, and I order a third, and I'm confused now, like, cause Juan's really confused that night. By the way, I mean, it was funny. I could tell you that story, but I watched them make my last one. No lie, the bartender fills the glass this much with rum, splashes Coke on top. So I'm like, that's what's freaking wrong, yo. I just had freaking 15 shots and 3
sounds right to
drinks.
me.
So, no lie, I remember walking out of there. I was like, I had to run to the bathroom. I had to freaking puke. It's terrible. And I was like, I'm trying not to get drunk this night.
Disappointed.
Man, if you drink a glass of rum,
Yes.
2 of them, you'll be
Yes.
fucked up.
No, I wouldn't, son.
All right, let's drink a glass of rum. Let's see. Let's see how this
Do I
podcast
have,
goes.
I don't have any rum in this house.
I'm going to splash some Coke on top.
Good. It's like icing on the cake, bitch.
This guy's like, I need it.
Eat a dick. Fucking give me the beer information, whore.
Oh, yeah. We're the kings of being sidetracked.
That's why this show is fucking great.
Hazy Imperial IPA. And it says that on the can. I didn't have to look that up.
Right.
But our most important thing, it is a 9%er.
Love it.
So,
And it's delicious.
yeah, I would say, to me, I didn't get much of a hazy. Like, the
No, I didn't
hazy
get
is
the
usually
hazy.
kind of fruity. Like an orangey. It was just
A
slight.
touch.
It was
It was a touch.
less flavorful than I was expecting.
It was tasty enough
But,
to me.
yeah.
For a 9? Yeah.
But yeah, easy drinkable for sure. So I think with this, oh, here you go. Notes on the beer, right on the can. The bitterness, super low.
Yeah.
The optics, hazy. The hops, an explosion of juicy Idaho 7. So we drinking potatoes?
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with
We
them?
got vodka, Mutico, and Zamba. Enjoy this beer. Challenge accepted.
Okay. Eat a dick. So 9%.
Wasn't a challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't really a challenge, but it was delicious. I liked it a lot. I would buy this. I'd store this in the fridge. I'm gonna go 7.7. I enjoyed it. 7.6. Give me a 7.6 on it. Let's fucking settle down.
I feel like, did I do something wrong? I went 7.2.
Well, like,
The
but
9% is a bonus, so the 9% hit me later too.
Yeah.
So had I waited for my score, it probably would have went up some. So I will round it up to 7.3.
Okay.
It gets a bonus point for that.
Even though you said the taste was a little mild for you, I could get a little bit more out of it. I feel like it was tasty to me. I enjoyed it. So yeah, we're going with that.
I gotta run to the fridge for our next one.
Oh, okay. Well, you go do that. I'm gonna make some noise here. I'm gonna go ahead and talk. You got to be fast though, because I can't do this by myself. Steve trying to run. If he runs into the fucking DTOF over there and knocks it over, he is off the show for sure. So today is the 86-year anniversary of Krispy Kremes. So the not beer. They don't sell beer at Krispy Kremes, do they?
They should.
Nah, but they don't.
Or they should have Krispy Kremes in Fells Point.
That's
Late
dangerous.
night?
That's
Yeah, just open up at 12.
That is a nightmare for me, because I would eat all of it,
Right, but
and get diabetes
I'm
on
getting
the
a
spot.
business idea. I'm only gonna open for 3 hours.
But so you could get a dozen of their donuts, their classic donuts, for 86 cents today. What the fuck are you doing?
Use the wrong side. What is this side even for?
I don't know.
Twirl around your finger?
Maybe put on your belt like a belt loop. I don't fucking know. I don't use bottle openers. I just open bottles with my teeth, bitch. I ain't no punk.
Right. Well, next one you open with your teeth.
I can't. I gotta go to the dentist. I gotta
So you do
fucking
a party trick. You end up with no teeth in the front. Fuck.
I mean, I remember being younger, strong teeth, fucking popping bottles with your teeth. You get to a certain age where you try it and you're like, oh no, that's blood. I gotta stop. But yeah, you get not now. I think they're closed, but they're closed in probably in 9 minutes. You get like a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts for 86 cents today. That's fucked.
I think that's 7-Eleven day.
Yeah, that was a couple days ago. Today's the 14th.
Something with Slurpee, I'm sure.
Free Slurpee for 7-Eleven day. That's all. It wasn't special. I've actually been doing pretty good with not eating shitty food the last couple weeks now. I've been drinking a lot of fucking water. I've worked out. On the days I have a little program. I haven't missed a workout yet. Tomorrow, I will officially be back on the mats training. My fucking hip flexor is still a little funky, but I'll adjust. Because if I keep waiting for my hip to fucking heal, I'm never getting back on the mats. And that's just, unfortunate. So, been doing pretty good. I feel like my pants are feeling, a little lighter, a little bit of room in the waist. A fanny pack is a little loose around the waist as well. So I'm like, oh my God, yo. About to go out here and start slaying these bitches, yo. Sexy as fuck. So, feeling pretty good. And now Krispy Kreme's trying to sell me a dozen donuts for 86 cents. These motherfuckers trying to sabotage me. Although I did get a filet of fish sandwich earlier this week. Because I had to. I was just thinking about it. I was like,
you know what's funny is I almost got one the other day because I don't know that I've ever had one. I was just curious. I wonder if this is good.
I feel like Burger King's Big Fish, the old original Big Fish, was much better. First off, it was much bigger. Bigger's better. Unless it's going in your butt, then it's not. That's why I get doctors with little fingers.
But is it better for people that like it that way?
I mean, then get a doctor with big fingers. I don't fucking know.
No, I mean,
doctor with Polish sausage fingers. What the fuck, yo? It's fucking gross. But the old Burger King fish sandwich was fucking great. And I always hated McDonald's because it was this little fucking square with this bitch ass cheese on it. But then once Burger King changed their fish sandwich, I was like, I'm just gonna go to McDonald's because at least theirs tastes good. Burger King's new fish sandwich, I was like, I don't even know what's in this.
All right, I'm curious.
I don't know
what's in. To try it.
I don't know what's in McDonald's fish sandwich either.
I haven't done fast food really at all in months. But I did have a quarter pounder not too long ago, and it was friggin' delicious.
So I thought about getting a quarter pounder when I was in the drive-through, and I was like, just get the fish sandwich, stick with your plan, get the fish sandwich, go home and chill. I've been doing pretty good. So
It was funny, the drive-through. They called it the QBC. I thought I was ordering a new burger. I was like, "Can I get the QBC?" And then when I looked, I was like, "Oh yeah, quarter pounder cheese."
yeah,
That's not new.
bitch ass.
The picture looked a little different.
Like, damn, dude. Now kind of it's like Sarah made steak fajitas tonight. So I'm like, dude, I've been doing pretty good with eating at home too. It's like I haven't been like overeating, but steak fajitas, son.
I've been on this kick
Can't
of
pass
making these like high protein recipes. Somehow,
Nice.
I started looking. The algorithm got me. It's like, oh, this guy likes these.
Gotcha.
So I started sending them to myself on Instagram, so I don't, lose them. Now, some of these recipes are good. Some are not the greatest, but some are actually quite good. So one is, I hate protein powder in a shake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just hate it. But one is making this like cheesecake mix. You put it in Greek yogurt. If you put it in vanilla Greek yogurt, which is a very high protein and low calorie, the protein powder in there, you don't even taste the protein powder. And mix it with a little bit of like the fluffy cream cheese.
Okay.
Put some graham crackers on it. It's like a cheesecake. I was like, and it's like, I mean, you can get up to 50 grams of protein in one serving.
That might be something I have to reach out to you
But
about.
I very much like the protein powder in Greek yogurt. Like, I can do it like that. I can't do it in the shake anymore. I hate it in the shake.
Yeah, I haven't done a shake in years. Well, so when we moved out here, we're at Whole Foods, and I got this plant-based protein. And that was the last time I ever did that. It was a sample. It was a sample pack, fortunately. Because I almost bought a full jug, and so I was like, just do the sample pack. And it tastes like dirt.
So the other one I did actually tasted quite good, but my execution was poor. But now I learned it's to make pizza dough out of Greek yogurt, some flour, and some nutritional yeast. I never heard of nutritional yeast, but you just need a little bit, and that shit adds 9 grams of protein for like just some powder, like a scoop of powder. The yogurt actually mixes, but what it does is, we've worked at a pizza place. It's not where you can roll it. It's kind of sticky.
Yeah.
So you got to like smooth it out with a spoon, and it's very wet. But then you cook it by itself at first. But the key is to put it on that paper.
The parchment
paper. But I didn't, I should have sprayed the paper. Also, I did it too thin at certain spots. Yep. So it was a little bit hard to pull the paper off.
You should know better by that.
Well, I mean, it was friggin' with the spoon. It was like, because I like thin pizza, though. But now I know that kind of dough, if it was a little thicker, but you mix in some like Italian spices, you could even put cheese in the dough if you want. The dough flavor was actually quite good. And with that Greek yogurt, it's a lot of protein.
I'm going to pass on that one, but I'm going to hit you for the
So in
the
terms of
shake
making dough, though, it's literally Greek yogurt, flour, some spices. You're done. Stir that up. You're done.
No, I get that. It still sounds like...
But it's easier to buy a crust, pre-made crust.
I'd probably just do that.
But it was surprisingly very good. My execution was poor, but the pizza came out pretty good.
I forgot we got another beer.
This is one of those strange beers that grew on us. Like, I wouldn't have liked this before the podcast, but now I like these kind of beers. And it's been a while since we've had one.
So
yours foamed up. Mine foamed up.
No,
all the way.
Yours was like to the fucking brim foam. I saw that shit, son. So I went out to brunch with Winter last week. It almost didn't happen. She texted me at 6 a.m. and the text that I got from her, because I only read, it was a 2-parter. Because text, like, Winter don't know how to text, like, in a full text. She'll send, like, 4 or 5 texts, but those 4 or 5 texts are 2 sentences. You could have just did 2 sentences in one text. So I read the second text. Or actually, hold on. Let me actually pull the exact text up, because I was confused as fuck. Let's see here. Where you at? Funny enough, we've actually been texting a lot more this last week leading up to it. And I was like, oh, okay. It was like, so she was like, hey, had an emergency. So I didn't see mom. I just saw with my girlfriend, may not be able to make brunch today. So I was like, okay, cool. Is everything okay? And then I didn't read the first text after that. I just saw she is old and has a ventilator. And I was like, what the fuck? So I texted her, I was like, you dating old bitches now? And then I was like, oh, my bad. I didn't read the first part of the text. And then I didn't also read the mom part of the text. We ended up, I can't remember, like wherever we ended up meeting, I can't remember now. We sat down, like ordered food knowing damn well we just wanted drinks. And she got like a breakfast burrito. I got like some French toast. I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, but what beers you got? Oh, nothing. You had like 2 beers on tap. Like,
what neighborhood? Fells?
Yeah, Fells. It was fucking trash. It was like 3 beers. Like, and it was 2 beers that were available. One had, with a cup over it. I was like, okay, this is trash. I'm out. So we went. Oh, what the fuck I feel like I texted you where we went. Riptide was the next spot. So we sat there, and there's this fucking trio of people, and the fucking one broad. It's like she doesn't know what volume control is. So she's just screaming, and it's like, I'm glad you're having a good time, broad, but like me and my homie trying to catch up here, and we can't hear each other because you're fucking loud ass fucking laugh.
I know I've been to Riptide. Is that on the side of the record store or the other side?
It's
by
on
the
side,
water.
It's on the side of the record store.
Okay, so near Horseshoe Road in on. Oh, Riptide.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I know it is.
yeah. That's so Horseshoe Road in on. I feel like that's closer to the record store, right?
Yep, right, like probably right next.
So like Riptide is further up the street.
Is that the one that has like an outdoor?
Yeah. Yeah, so it started raining and like the
Oh
wind
yeah, they
picked
do
up,
have food. Yeah,
and I just saw the fucking umbrellas go flying. And like good for winter. She went and found a bartender and told him I was going to watch the chaos.
Yeah, Maryland weather is slowly becoming Florida.
Yep.
Like we get this weird ass. We had a storm today, I believe.
Yeah,
I was working, but I could. It was clear as day. I was like outside 3 hours ago before the storm, and I left at like 6 o'clock to go run an errand, and it's soaking wet everywhere.
So that's what it was like on Sunday, because she texted me. Then the weather report says it's going to storm. I was like, "So what you trying to do?" She was like, "No, we can still go." I was like, "All right, word." So we met up. No rain. We got the Riptide and start pouring. So then we're like, "Okay, there's a clearing. Let's go." She's waiting for the check though. Pay the tab, and then it happens again. So finally, we just said, "Fuck it." We just got to make a run for it. So we ended up in the spice shop, like kind of waiting the rain out. I bought some sauce for the steak sauce and shit. So I was like, all right, we gonna grill this weekend, marinate some steaks and bullshit. But I was telling him about you. I was like, yo, I got a buddy. Yo, he can't. Yo, none of this shit in here will affect him. And they're like, yo. The one lady was like, yo, he needs to go break the bank then. I was like, I've been telling this dude, like, fucking go start fucking yanking cats for their money. Like, oh, I can handle all this shit. Because, see, and what I was trying to explain to you, there are people who enjoy the spices and don't let it bother them. And then there are people, who don't taste the spice. And I'm trying to explain that. And they're like, oh, word? I was like, yeah, word. I was like,
that's what my brother doesn't understand, because he orders the spiciest food to show off a little bit. But it doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so we do have a difference, because he does not like wasabi, that feeling. I can taste wasabi a little bit. And again, because it's horseradish, it's not a pepper. So it dulls very quickly. But that first one, if I put like all the wasabi in my mix, I get that face burn, and I love it. I'm like, man, I would actually love spiced food if I could taste it. Well, but a pepper, the hottest hot sauce, and again, people are like, dang, you have such a high tolerance. It was like, it's not. I'm not tolerating anything. There's nothing happening.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, I'm not really crazy about hot like food at all. Like I'll do like hot wings, And that's it. Like normally, they're like what flavor you want? Give me mild. Like, and even sometimes mild is a little aggressive for me,
It is.
but I'm okay with it though.
There's so many dishes that I can't tell that it's spicy. Now, if something tastes abnormally bad, I actually question it, and I'll be like, "Is this supposed to be spicy?" And be like, "Yeah, it's spicy as shit." It's like, oh, that's why this tastes like dog shit because it. I don't. It tastes when it's the spicier it is, the more bland it tastes to me. It's
Well-
like there's like a. It's almost like the way I can describe it is dirt.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining to the people there. Well, and funny enough, what actually kind of spawned this podcast was when you did the Hot Ones episode with us, and my one teammate, because like his whole thing was like, I want to see people suffer. It's like, eat a dick. It's like, all right, well, yeah, we can do it, but I'm gonna bring my buddy on this show, like, and I think it might have been halfway through, and I finally just said, like, yeah, he can't taste spice.
I
Like,
can't even.
It was, we should have like bet some money with him. Could have
Yeah, that's
fucking broke
that's
his
what I always want
pockets.
to do on a like a contest. I want to act like it's burning, like as we go spicier, but like I just have such like a I could fight through. Like, oh, god damn. Then the last one, I just don't have any reaction at all.
Yeah, I mean, wait, we'll find one. We'll find
My
one.
favorite spice,
And-
that Hot Ones. No, it's Shaq when he did the chip on TNT. And this ain't nothing. Nothing.
So-
he's just like, all of a sudden he's like, ooh, ooh.
Well, the one spice, the bomb, I think it was. I think that might have been the highest one that he brought. I think. No, he brought another. There was another one. It was the bomb, and then there was one after that. I think
I know that the bomb,
'Cause we had-
that's one of the highest ones. On
we had
Hot
10.
Ones. The bomb's usually like the one where it gets serious on Hot Ones.
Like we had 10. I made it up to 8 surprisingly. Although to be fair, the first few weren't really that spicy. To be quite fair, there was one that was garlicky, but not really spicy. I think like once we got to number 9, that's where I got fucked. And I was like, oh no. I think it was the bomb. And I was just like, because it didn't affect me at first. So I was like, no, it's not terrible. Oh, but 5 minutes later, I was like, oh my God. And water just made it worse.
Oh, yeah. I heard that.
And I was like, oh no, this is.
So I remember one of
Nightmare.
the hottest hot sauces back in the day was called Dave's Insanity Sauce. And my dad got that. I drenched my tacos with it, which was a mistake because it tasted so bad. And I love tacos. It ruined my tacos. But again, I don't taste any spice. It tasted like a very bitter, almost like licking bark on a tree.
Ugh.
That's what it tastes like to me.
Fucking gross.
But my mom tried it a little bit, went crying into the bathroom. Like her throat was hurting. And then my dad brought it to a bar because I used to work with him. So we'd often go to the bar. They put a toothpick around this guy's beer bottle when he went to the bathroom like that.
yeah.
And when he came back, all of a sudden he's like, my lips are fucking burning. What the fuck? And then he like runs off. I mean, he was in pain.
Good for him.
It's like,
But but yeah, we ended up stopping in there, and then we finally just because we're trying to get the maxes. Finally, we just said, "Fuck it, just power through, get to where we need to be to." Got the maxes. It was wild because we got Carter at the door. I was like, "Dude, really? All right, I guess." Guess maybe because Winter was with me because she still looks like a little kid. So went in there, had a few sours.
it's
I think
like
I still
one of
have
those
the
things when you're with someone, they just have to ask you to.
yeah.
But yeah, I get that with my girlfriend. It's like, I do. Then they're like, one time, and I was actually insulted. They're like, oh, no, you're good. That's rude.
Like, nah, go through. Go through.
I didn't
Pops.
need your idea.
But yeah, we got to Max's. Had a couple stars. I still have their list up on my phone somewhere.
Yeah, they have a ridiculous amount. They're a little pricey, but they have a lot of beers.
It wasn't too bad. The couple that we ended up, I think we both got like the same one. Yeah, I think it was like 8%, maybe 8.5, and maybe I don't know. I don't think it was too pricey. I don't think,
Probably not for Baltimore.
but I think my only like gripe was like they didn't have a lot of sours. I think they only had like maybe 2 sours. They might only had the one because we kept ordering the same one. So I think they only had the one sour. But
is it the Admiral's Cup on the corner?
Admiral's Cup.
I always
yes,
like that.
That's on the corner.
because they got 3 floors.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't end up there.
That one though was a fun one.
Because normally, like anytime she and I go out, we that's where we land.
That
So.
top floor, like if you're ever out there at night, it's fun. I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, I always love in Fells Point the freaking what do you call it? The Orange Crushes in Baltimore are freaking bomb. They're usually around $7, and they're usually pretty big.
So she and I went out there this might have been, it was probably last year. No, it was another
They
time.
had the $13 one,
Yeah.
but it's a 32 ounce. It's worth it.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it depends.
I didn't
where
feel
you
like
go.
it was worth it, but
I've had some where it's like all vodka.
like with like the time, I think it was a 4th of July. She and I went
You
out.
used to be able to just walk around with those.
Man, now the COVID killed everything, bitch. But yeah, we just ended up getting beers. I was like, all right, fine.
This
But
just made me think of Water Street. Does that still exist?
it doesn't. Trust me, I was looking.
You know what? I think I ended up there one of the times me and Bea stayed in Baltimore. And I was like, this looks super familiar. I was like, this is Water Street. This used to be the only place you could like freaking walk outside with your beer.
Yeah, they had the street blocked off, and you just, oh my god, dude, that was like, what a spot, son.
Yeah,
What a
it's so
spot.
it's so weird how like things change over time. Like at one point that was the spot if you wanted to drink outside.
Well, also the thing is too, like, and I only been there like a couple times. It was just like this weird, like you go in, you get your drink, and you come out. And I don't remember ever like starting a tap, but I was, Boy Scout, so I'd go back and pay, But still, it was like it was weird because it's like I could just leave.
Yeah, it was
I
like
didn't
a
leave a
little-
card or nothing.
Mardi Gras type feeling on
Yeah.
this one little street.
Yeah, it's a good time. We talked about, we were like basically, like I texted her, I was like, look, dude, we got to stop seeing each other only once a year. Like that shit's so 2003. Like we need to start hanging out more. So she said there's like a little spot up there with like a little stage pavilion, whatever. They do some shows on the weekends. I was like, I'll come out. Like, just let me know. Like, we'll go catch a show here and there. So winter's back in the fold. I'm gonna go out and get some beers, and then maybe some Orange Crushers. Want to rate this?
Some tequila. All right. So it's called
Delicious.
Tank 7. It's an American Saison, so we're getting fancy here. But
You
yeah,
made that
again,
word up.
this
It's not even a real word.
before our podcast, I wouldn't have liked this beer, but these grew on me a lot. It's been a while since we've had one, but they have like a little bit of a spice taste to them. This one is fruity,
It's a small hint. I taste more
aromatics, and
fruit.
grapefruit, hoppy notes, and a peppery, dry finish.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, they tend to taste kind of like that Belgian yeasty taste.
I liked it a lot.
And another positive, 8.5%.
Oh my stars, dude.
And Boulevard Brewing is out of Kansas City, as we were talking.
Fucking knew it, son. That was my first guess.
The name Tank 7. I read something about this. Like they said this something like they had 7 tanks, and the 7th tank was their black sheep.
Okay, I'm glad you
So we're
did that with
drinking
sheep.
out of the tank that they don't care about.
Racist. Okay, cool. Fuck them.
Tank 7 reminds me of Thomas the Tank Engine when I see the logo.
Okay. It's fucking weird, but okay.
But 8.5. I mean,
8.5, Dude,
it's very, very crushable.
dude, back to back, like, and they were tasty, dude. Like,
Yeah, we went 9 to 8.5.
I'm worried about the next one now. They're like, this is a 4.
There's a big drop off.
Yeah, fuck. Hopefully the
try to-
taste is at least worth
I try
it.
to pair them a little bit.
Eh.
So we're not doing like all 10% on one day.
So, I mean, what's wrong with that?
But then we'll have like all 5% the other day.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta take a break. So this was delicious. This was an 8.5. I enjoyed it. Last one, would I give a 7.6?
Yeah.
This is still up there. I'm gonna go. This was 7.4.
Okay, so I actually went up slightly. I like this one a little more. I went 7.5.
Okay,
So we're
that's
close.
fair.
And I think that makes them almost even. So what, 7.3? Yeah, 7.45, 7.4. I think they tied.
See, there we go. It's good stuff. So, excuse me. What is it? Now, let me look at my phone because, like, I'm trying to like think of my notes like off the top of my head. But who texts me? I got no friends. Oh, it's my wife.
I texted you. There's
yes.
a picture.
Dicks,
Yeah.
of course.
I was feeling proud today.
No, sometimes when you shave it properly, yeah, it's always you always got to be proud. Let's see here. My wife asked if I have Cash App or Venmo, and I just said yes. Both. Yeah. Is he pissing or you getting more beer? Okay, he's getting more beer. You gotta warn me, man. I was just sitting here talking to my phone, talk about like Sarah texting me, and then you just left.
I saw it was a good opportunity.
So, Prime Day was this week for Amazon.
I didn't understand what that really was.
Like there was some like big discounts on a lot of stuff. So hold on, this whore is.
So I bought one thing. You know it's hard to find. So I think I mentioned to you I got a new sampler that's much smaller. Like I'll be able to bring it. I'm gonna redo our song. One thing I like about it is it's a standalone unit. It works with a computer, but I don't have to have one. So I could record directly into it, which I like.
That's cool. Record all you want. Let's pass that beer.
So, what was my point?
I don't know, but you interrupted me, bitch.
No, the
So Prime is basically like there's some like major discounts on not anything like there's some things that like people may like be into. I was looking for like other like podcast type equipment, just backup stuff like mics, cords, things like that. So none of those things were. I think I got enough cords right now, so I think we're good. I have additional mics that are fine, but I just like to have mics just to be on the safe side. But I ended up Sarah got a new iPad, not Prime Day. She was getting a new iPad anyway for the kid. More space. So she was like, well, we'll probably just sell the old one. I was like, no, just give me the old one. I'll use it like for podcast stuff because I can't pull up stuff here while we're recording, but I can pull it up here. So I ended up getting like a case and some bullshit. But, I was like looking at action figures. Action figures were like reduced, but not the ones like all the shit that I already had was reduced. It's like, fuck y'all. I paid $20 for those. Now these joints is like $8, bitch. But then I noticed, because I do this quite often. Because with the new job, I try to get to bed at a reasonable hour, but there's some nights I might be up at 1 a.m. And when 1 a.m. hits, you start making crazy purchases. And I think tomorrow or Sunday, I'm going to have a big-ass jug of fucking Laffy Taffy show up. Because I think it was $7 for this jug of Laffy Taffy. So I was just like, it's not the worst thing I've bought at 1 a.m. I like, dude. Sometimes you got to put girls through college on OnlyFans, and like you look like, well, if it's $4.99, why not? Why not? And then you check it out, it's very disappointing. I was like, she got my $5 because there is tax on this. Fucking dumb, but whatever. But yeah, I was just thinking, I was like, damn, dude, Prime Day, like they do that a couple times a year, but this one seemed like the first time it was like reasonable like numbers.
Yeah, I guess I never realized what I ended up getting was an SD card. And what I was trying to say
I'm glad you said SD card because I thought I heard
card is
STD. I was like, oh my God, Steve.
Surprisingly, it's like they don't have them anywhere.
SD cards?
They have like the ones with the adapter at Best Buy, like the ones that go into your phone but can't go into an adapter. I was like, I'd rather just get the real one.
Oh, I was like, dude, like,
but it's crazy how that little card, this is when I feel real dumb. I'm like, this little card has 256 gigs of memory.
Yeah.
And just stores all types of data, video,
porn.
Yeah, porn. Written files, anything. How?
I mean,
it's just a little freaking little cube.
We went to the moon.
Some metal
also.
Parts. I know. The chip fascinates me more. Like, how does this shit work?
Like, so I ended up recently
we really
buying
depend on a lot of smart people.
An SD card for this thing. Like, I don't need it, but I was like, all right, I got it because I have some of the like
cocaine and hookers,
like the
friend.
sounds on there. I was like, okay, well, that's fine, but It's surprising. I have a lot of SD cards around the house just from old shit.
I mean,
I don't know what's on
it's
some
so
of them.
big. 256 is a lot of friggin' memory. Like I think that's all I need. And I was looking. It's kind of cool because my older sampler that works with a computer, I can actually put it on the SD card, and I'll be able to load it into the other one. And I like the other ones. It's so small. Like I could be sitting in my bed. I could just bring it wherever.
That's what I like about my laptop. I want to watch porn in my bed. I could watch it in my bed. I could sit in the kitchen. I could sit on the back porch.
The
and just jerk
workflow
off.
is so awesome because with the computer, like clicking stuff with the mouse, there's something weird about it. I don't like it. It takes away some of the things. Like I just want to be here and like pressing the buttons live.
Oh, okay. On
And
that.
Because I mean, you have the drum pads, but
Yeah.
So I've always had some other brands. Then MPC was like always the hip hop one, like the main one.
Yeah.
The MPC timing, whoo-wee, that shit is nice. Yo, you play that shit wrong, that shit corrects it for you of what you were trying to do. It knows what you were trying to do.
And it's like, no.
Yo,
let me show you what
so
you meant.
My old one, it had a quantize, is what it's called. And I would play it, and I'd be like, it's like slightly off, and it would drive me nuts. Like, why can I not freaking hit it, right? I know I'm not that bad in timing. MPC, it's perfect timing every time. Even if you're not perfect. I'm just like, God damn, that shit's right on the grid. Perfect. I know why hip-hop producers use MPCs.
This is a little underwhelming.
I mean, I feel the other ones, though. But
No,
yeah,
the other ones were great. This one
this
just...
is-
Well,
reminds me
taste-wise,
of-
it just feels like...
like Chris from volleyball, where he drinks the Coors Light in between. It's his water. In between beers.
Eek.
What do you think is the best tasting like? I saw someone, a foreigner video recently reviewing American light beers, and he was like, I actually enjoy American light beers, and I do too. Like, there's a purpose for them.
Yeah.
Like, again, party. We're playing beer pong.
Light beer, the best tasting one?
Tasting wise, so. Because it's, if you're going light beer, I think you're going refreshing.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think...
You're not drinking it for like a beer.
I think this, despite the shit that I say, I think Coors Light
That's
is
what I was
refreshing.
going to say. I think Coors Light is the most refreshing. And that's
Yes.
what Chris drinks, who is a big beer drinker. That's his in-between beer.
Like, I think, Coors Light is probably the most refreshing of them. I would say...
Because they're all 4.2.
Like, I would say after that, probably Corona Light. I
I
think
like
that's...
Corona Light too.
I think after, then once you
I agree
get
with that.
once you go from there, there's a major drop off to me.
I think Miller Lite
So-
slightly behind.
So is Rolling Rock non-alcoholic, or is that? Because someone told me that was non-alcoholic.
No, there's a non-alcoholic version, but
Okay.
there is.
Because I feel like Rolling Rock is another one in Land Shark.
Yeah. Landshark's got a slight, well, both of them got a slight skunkiness compared to others.
Well, so Rolling Rock comes in those green bottles though.
Yep.
So there's that. I think Land Shark. I've never had a bad Land Shark. I think at one point that was kind of my go-to, but I would say Coors
I like
Light,
Land
Corona
Shark,
Light.
like you're going out and like you're just in like a something about the way Land Shark is packaged. It does feel like a summer beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a very basic.
I've never
taste.
had Land Shark in January.
Yeah,
for
it's a
sure.
very basic taste, but gets the job done. But yeah, I would say Coors Light. When you get an ice cold Coors Light, that,
yes.
on draft especially, that is the most refreshing taste.
Yeah, and the thing is, as much shit as I talk about it, like anytime I go to out there and do like a Skull Fest or a Nerd Rage episode, and Pinkerton has a case of Coors Light, I never pass it up. Like, well, because also the thing is, the follow up to that though, is he has Coors Light and then Jameson.
Did we ever review Coors Light?
I don't believe we
I
did.
don't think we did, because I think that might be the party beer of choice.
Perhaps. So it's like Miller Lite has kind of a feel to it though, where it's like I feel like as I'm drinking it, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but it's like at least I feel it.
It has a little bit.
It's got a little
more of a taste. On draft, it can be very good.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Coors Light though when it's ice cold.
It's fucked up now because when I go out and I feel like a fucking beer snob, and I don't think I am, but I'll text you. I'm like, yo, scores, I need it. And
But
then,
I mean, it is true of terms too. Of like even like all things considered, calories. It's like it's not. It's more calories for the IPAs for sure.
yeah.
But you're getting an 8% beer,
Well, yeah.
where you
Well,
could drink 3 light beers and still not feel anything.
So I think of it this way: if I'm drinking an IPA, I'm not worried about my weight that day. I'm worried about getting fucked up.
But even still, I think you're better off with the IPA because you're drinking more percent at once.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there for a job, and the job is to get fucked up.
That 8, I feel like the 8% is a great level.
I think
That might be the sweet spot. The
I think-
8 and the 9.
so. 9 for me is like if it's 9, I know I'm there for a good time. If it's 9.5, all bets are off. After that, I'm a little hesitant because the taste could be hit or miss.
Yeah, a lot of the beers over 10% start getting gasoline-ish.
Yeah. But if things are like if it's under 7, then I'm just like I'm not necessarily interested. So, there's that to think about. But now, like, since we've been doing this show, anytime we go out, I don't get like light beer. I don't get like Miller Lite, Coors Light. I don't
Same.
get. I'm just like, look, what y'all got? Oh, a word. All right.
Now, if they're serving it in frozen mugs, I might get a Coors Light. But yeah, otherwise I'm getting an
Yes.
IPA, like the highest.
What the fuck did I have the other day at when I went out? The first beer I had. I think the mugs being cold definitely like played a huge role. The beer was still good, but it needed that ice cold mug.
Yeah. There's a bar in Ocean City called Mug and Mallet, and they serve you the Coors Light. So they're slightly smaller mugs, but because it's smaller, it will slightly freeze right on top.
I like it.
And it is so freaking good. We still got to go to that the Tiki Bar.
Look, man, I'm available Saturdays now for that. I don't like doing Sundays just because I'm doing so much different shit on Sundays, whether it be recording or editing or just family day. Sundays like that
Well,
recovery
there's a
day.
chance we might not play volleyball tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so it would have to be because I'm doing I'm training at 11, then I'm training at 2:30. I'll be done at 3:30, so I'm not opposed.
But yeah, I'll be able to know by then, obviously, because right now we could have 2-on-2, but one of the guys typically doesn't like playing on a 2 team.
Yo, I love watching fucking one championship and these bros. Like when they come out, like first off when they're fighting, it's like, oh my god, you think they stole the other one's man, and then afterwards they hug their good friend. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, goddamn. That was like a perfect direct.
She fell to an arm bar.
Oh,
Oh.
shit. She lost. She dropped her, but.
Oh shit!
Got too
Yeah,
cocky.
I'm dancing with the son. It would have built bigger than her.
Yo, I got rocked, but I fucking.
Those broads over there in one. Like that's the funny thing about UFC is like UFC is the name brand. Everybody knows UFC, but like I think most of those cats in one would put it on a lot of cats in UFC. A lot of them. I think. What we got? 2 guys over in one, I think. And I was talking about Lou earlier, Winter's friend. Her brother was the light heavyweight and the middleweight champion. He was the champ over there in one. And then the fucked up thing is he lost both belts to the same dude. Like the one dude was like, all right, let's fight at middleweight. He took the belt from him, and then he fought him at light heavyweight and took the belt from him. I was like, God damn, dude. Little respect, why not? He was like, nah, I want it all. And then Ung La came back in his last fight and fucking smoked the dude. And he just fucking guillotine choked. I was like, okay. He made his point. He's not done.
I wonder if there'll ever be.
Hold on one sec. All right. And we're back. Well, I'm back. I think Steve's peeing. He doesn't know that I hit record, though. So, it's just us. Just me and you. Just together. The 2 of us. Or maybe whoever's listening. But yeah, it's us. So, yeah. We're watching 1FC in the background. Looks like we got the atom weight title. That's the 105-pound women's division. Title's on the line. It's a vacant title, so looks like they're about to crown a new champ. I guess the previous champ had to drop the belt. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know, to be honest. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the in between fights. Like the UFC has a card every weekend, so you kind of get to keep track of who's moving up in the ranks, who's fighting. I think someone's going to be fighting on a card on Saturday. He's fought 3 weeks in a row or some bullshit like that. Sometimes you got fighters that fall out of fight. You get somebody that's, they didn't take a lot of damage the last fight, so they fucking jump in and, make the money for sure. But ultimately, it's easier to keep track of the UFC stuff that's going on versus one. And you would think with one, there's only one event per month, maybe every couple months or so. You'd think it's easier to keep track there, but it is a little difficult just because you don't really know a lot of the fighter names. Even in the UFC now at this point, you don't really know a lot of the fighter names just because I think they have like 500 plus fighters on the roster. So it gets kind of tough keeping track of everyone, especially in the lighter women divisions, like 115 and 125, other than the champions. And then even the men's 125 division is tough to keep track. I mean, Brandon Moreno was the champion last week, and then he just lost to a guy that he's lost to 2 previous times. So, but again, there's no storyline, there's no follow to that. But I think with the UFC, the money fights are, obviously the heavyweight division, like heavyweight, middleweight, and welterweight divisions. So everybody kind of always have kind of a good idea of what's going on there. Whereas you go to one, I mean, most people couldn't tell you who their heavyweight champ is, who their light heavyweight champ is, or middle welter, lightweight champ. Like, no one has the info. Plus, over at one, they do like MMA, and on the same card, they'll have a Muay Thai fight. And then after that, they'll have a kickboxing match. Then even after that, you might get a jiu-jitsu match with like someone like Mikey Musumeci, So there's like, ONE FC is kind of a mixed bag. And it does kind of give you the true definition of mixed martial arts. Like, you can have any of these different events going on and or any of these different styles going on at one event. So that's what I do enjoy about one championship. Where the fuck is Steve? Like, I turned this on thinking he was coming right the fuck back out, and he's still sitting in the bathroom. I don't know. Oh, here he fucking comes. Jesus fucking Christ. I was sitting there trying to fucking stall, and like, you're in there fucking playing with your fucking pecker. Yeah, to the microphone.
Oh, I thought you were on the phone still.
No, I wasn't. Like, I hung up a long time ago. Like, you like listen at the fucking door? Like fucking weirdo.
What a drink. Oh, I'm out of drinks.
Yeah. I mean, I got this cheap ass fucking wine. Oh my God, the Kendall Jackson is so bad, yo. This is horrible. I meant to pour that shit out the other day. It's so bad. So, I guess I should catch up. You were done with yours. I'm still working.
See, I got an SD card from Amazon. It came. I paid the extra
I got a
$2
jug of Laffy Taffies
for it to arrive same day, and it did. But it was some weird brand, so I hope it works. But
yeah, so what did I order? Oh, all the bullshit for the iPad. I think what I order a new so we have tons of chargers in the home, but I think like the other iPad and then Sarah's iPhone. So it's like, just keep your bitch ass chargers. I'm just gonna order my own.
I'm trying to think
in the case
with getting the new sampler, what I want to get rid of and what I want to keep. So there's an old standalone sampler. Guitar Center was basically like, we'll give you 60% of what we sell it for. And I was like, that's actually not bad, because I don't want to freaking deal with the hassle of shipping that shit or like having someone pick it up.
Yeah.
That one I could sell, because now that one serves no use. I'll probably get everything off of there, and then that could go away. Because now I have a new standalone.
Oh, she's beating that bitch's ass. The ref was like, yeah, just stop. Stop hitting her, please.
I was thinking, I want one turntable hooked up just so I could scratch and add to the beat. I was like, I just need one.
One championship.
Because I don't think I'm going to be one. There's not, unless you're at a hip hop show of someone from our era, I don't think people are using turntables anymore.
You know,
although the turntables have that vinyl coated record where you can use it with a laptop. Because you can't, it's still better to scratch with an actual turntable than those controllers.
that's something my wife and I were talking about the other day. Like, you're talking about the turntable, unless you're like from our era at a hip hop show. It's like, you know, things change, you know, for better or for worse. And Sarah and I were getting into the conversation about cursive. She was talking, I want to teach the kid cursive. And I was like, I mean, you can. I'm not saying don't, but just understand, like, there's other shit you could be teaching her where you're wasting her time.
Yeah, I'll say cursive's not a big one, a big importance anymore. I pray, and I know it won't happen anytime soon, but I wish America would switch to the metric
It's
system.
not happening.
The metric system is, and it's funny is whenever I say this to someone, they're like, no. They don't want to. Like, do you understand how much easier the metric system is?
So, and that's the funny thing is, like, people say no, but it's like, the question then from there is like, why not?
Do you know how to reduce fractions still? No. Exactly. Do you want to do inches and feet? You know what a foot is? That shit doesn't make sense. 12 inches. You know what a freaking yard is? That shit's 3 feet. Why the fuck is
like,
measuring 3 feet?
Why do we have that? Why is that a measurement? You dumb fuck. Well,
we run 5Ks. We don't run 3.2 miles.
Like, we're this was like a couple years back. Is talking about like old documents, and she was like, well, you know, kids won't be able to read those old documents. I was like, why would they? They could just go on the internet.
Who fucking reads the Constitution?
It's like,
which, by the way, that's a whole different cursive. That shit's
Yeah.
like artistic as fuck.
like, even if you can read it,
My cursive
you
don't
can't
look
read
like
it.
that.
Like, these on some bullshit. That's not real. That's
You
not
learn
real.
to read that cursive, and then you see my cursive, you're like, what? What's this guy writing? Hieroglyphics?
And that's the whole thing too. It's like, well, okay, if you want to be in that field to read the Constitution, then go specialize in it. But don't force a bunch of kids to learn it.
And the internet translate freaking other languages now for us.
Yeah, like,
You could have a conversation with someone with your phone. You just be like, go to another country, talk that shit. And
I
hold it
told
up
you,
to
I
them.
got into an argument in Portuguese, right? Like, I got into a full blown back and forth argument in Portuguese with somebody, and I mean, it was translated pretty well. So I don't know. The internet's doing a lot of big things, so don't hate on it. So I'm pretty sure they could translate cursive. Like, I don't know. It's like, what are some other things that like people
Writing a check is a skill you don't necessarily need.
Oh, that was another one we talked, because she was like, yeah, like, you know, kids say they can't write checks, and it's like, why do they need to?
Yeah, you don't need to. I mean,
You know,
unless you're putting a deposit down, which that requires usually a cashier's check, which you have to go and get.
yeah.
I don't know that there's a case you need to write a check anymore. And it's stupid.
So when we bought the house, we had to write a check. That was 6 years ago, though. 7
Yeah.
years ago.
I think 6 years ago they were still using them. Now
Yeah.
it's rare. And even with that is like cash. It's
Yeah.
like there's still so many old people that refuse to not use cash, and they think like there's some kind of scam. It's like, dude, do you realize how much money you're gonna save with your card? Because you do not save all that change.
Yeah, like, I got a jar of quarters upstairs right now. So there was I remember watching Happy Days as a kid, and I remember Fonzie, like, you know, Richie and all the guys were at Fonzie's place, and he had his money in a jar or so. No, it was under his mattress. That's what it was. And like, you keep your money under the mattress? It was like, yeah, like, why don't you keep it in a bank? You go, banks get robbed. I don't. And it's like, okay, I get what you're saying. It made sense when I was a little kid. It was funny. But it's like, nah.
Not anymore.
'Cause
now all that can happen if you carry cash is you get robbed and you don't fucking have your cash anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you have your fucking card, you'll just dispute that shit and
Yeah.
you'll get it back.
Yeah, and if the bank gets robbed,
That ain't affecting you. It ain't
Yeah.
the same thing. I don't even think there's real money, hardly any real money anymore.
no. Well, it's like they're talking about, like, loans. It's just made up numbers now.
Yeah, I mean, money is a made up thing. There's no
Yeah.
actual value to the paper.
Dumb fucks.
I guess there's a little bit to the metal in the coin, but not.
Yeah, but it's like what the fuck are we talking? Oh, I was listening to Joe Rogan. He had Tom Segura on there, which Tom Segura's new stand up is fucking great. That dude is he's a fucking national treasure. We need to protect this man at all costs. Him and Andrew Schultz. But they're talking about the student loan forgiveness thing. And Tom Segura was really, really like pushing, like, no, we shouldn't forgive because that debt has to go somewhere. It's like, well, not. I mean, this shit's all made up. Doesn't it have to go anywhere.
It is.
It's
I
all
mean,
made
money
up.
is made up. It's a way of controlling people. I don't believe in necessarily the Illuminati, but I do think there's something.
So we were just Sarah and I were talking about this the other night because we're like, all right, corporations. Who's running all of what? And she was like, basically, there are like 2 or 3 big names that run everything. BlackRock, and then she said some others.
Yeah.
And ultimately, what it boils down to is, whatever you're paying your money into, it's somehow getting to them.
Yeah,
And
I think it's. I believe it's probably more than just a few people, but it's the extremely wealthy. Are
well,
running
yeah,
shit.
not people, but like companies. There's like companies with heads.
Because
But
think about today's jobs, what a lot of them are. One of the most important jobs, or paying jobs, and it is important now because this day and age, we don't have to like go out and get our food. The grocery store has frickin' everything. We're eating idiot chickens. Like we have everything so easy to get. So now, like a lot of main jobs, is like doing with marketing. It's like, what is that actually doing? In
Like-
terms of like living and carrying on, like we're not actually doing anything.
well, I think that's the thing too. It's like,
It's all consumerism, and consumerism is a way to control people.
well, like I thought about the other day. Even ordering off Amazon for Prime Day. Do we really need to order anything for Prime Day? Like I just said, I just fucking ordered a jug of Laffy Taffies. Why? Because it was a couple bucks.
I mean, people generally want to become like managers, directors, so that they can buy more stuff.
So
Because it's not actually doing anything for society.
was like listening to like kind of the conversation Joe Rogan and Brian Simpson were having to talk about like the whole idea of having money and feeling secure, knowing your bills are paid. That's one thing. And then Joe was like he brought up a good point, and I thought about it. It was like it is true. It's like people like stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I have to kind of like taper myself sometimes. Well, like when I'm like, oh, I want to buy something. It's like, no, you don't. Like, well, it's not even that you want to, but do you need to?
Yeah, I mean, the whole buying thing, this goes back to the days of you used to trade something that was worth a value to someone else.
Yeah.
That's how it started. And then, I mean, nowadays we just, I mean, a lot of the things you buy, whether people admit it or not, is to really show off to other people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying a $3,000 handbag, that handbag ain't doing anything.
You got $3,000 put in that
The
handbag.
same $10 handbag from Walmart does the same thing, but you don't have no status with that.
All right. So there are 17 companies that own everything. Johnson & Johnson.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was even thinking about the other day, like, 'cause just Doritos. For whatever reason, I thought about Doritos. Like, yeah, whoever invented Doritos just doesn't even have to change the recipe, and that shit just sells forever.
It works. PepsiCo. Procter & Gamble.
Oh yeah, they make like every fucking
I can't read that word.
Coke's up there.
Coca-Cola. Mars. Unilever. Sure, I trust you. Kraft Heinz, actually. General Mills, Kellogg,
Again,
BlackRock.
all those food ones, they just make the exact same thing, and people will buy it for the end of time.
Nestle, Comcast. I don't know what that means. And the J.M. Smucker Company. Let's see what else I got here. Associated British Foods, Berkshire Hathaway. So those are the companies. Not all of them. There's some I can't pronounce. So we're just going to pretend they don't exist. But basically, one way or another, our money funnels into those things somehow. And it's like I was saying the other day, it's like, how can I like stop? Like, well, first off, don't buy from Amazon. You know, it's so convenient. Like, I'm lazy. I don't feel like going to the store. So I just order from Amazon. I'll get it like that afternoon.
Well, like the SD card, I couldn't. It wasn't actually in the store.
That too. That's wild that it wasn't in the store because I'm pretty sure I go to Walmart right now and get one. Like it's behind a fucking glass case, which is weird.
Walmart be putting their underwear packs behind the glass case.
Yeah,
I guess they have a lot of people stealing underwear.
So, well, no, they've been having a lot of fucking looting at Walmarts across the country. Like, there are a lot of Walmarts that have to shut down because of fucking theft. They're like, yeah, if y'all can't stop, we're just gonna shut the store down. And motherfuckers like, well, fine, fuck you. I'm gonna get what I need.
Walmart and 7, the underwear is in a glass case. And when I found that, I was like, I'm not asking someone to go pick out my underwear.
So Sarah was trying to get me some undershirts. And she said the same thing. She's like, yeah, they're behind a glass case. I was like, what the fuck? I'm just going to go to Target. You know what's another interesting thing? So my undershirt, what are these called?
Wife beaters?
So my wife did not know the origin of that. She was like, I don't, because someone, I guess she was listening to someone from Europe talk about it. I was like, you call these things wife beaters. Why? And she was like, yeah, and I don't know why. And I was like, and I was like, you don't know why they call them wife beaters? Like, because if you watch Cops, whenever there's a domestic dispute.
There's never not someone wearing a white tank top on Cops.
It's like, there's always someone in a domestic dispute wearing a fucking tank top.
It's funny, now they got more colors, but still the really, really white trash people, they still rock the white one.
So I remember, was it after high school? Yeah, it was after high school. I had like assorted colors. I had like red, I had blue, I had a green one. I was like, I was all about like the assorted colors. I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm going to make this a fashion statement. And I remember playing football up at the field one day, and I don't know what shirt I had on top, but I ended up taking off. I had on like a red, like fucking beater. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I was like, I think I was wearing jeans too, which is really fucking weird. Like,
you were looking like a freaking 80s wrestling character.
Hey, but I was killing it though. That was fucking running through people. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna do it in my red beater, bitch. But I just thought that was funny that she didn't know that. I was like, wow, really? You don't? But it's like when you like kind of going back to the whole thing though, it's like you track everything and it kind of leads to one of those companies unless you like have your own shit and you're making it yourself. Like I was in the Annapolis Mall the other day and there's a store called Lush. They make like custom soaps, like handmade. And I was, talking to my wife about that. And I was like, I mean, something like that though. She was like, well, yeah, it does have shareholders, but like you can only buy shares by invite. I was like, okay, I like that. That's fair. That's fine. But it's not, I guess at some point, though, money still goes to these companies. Because if, let's say I have my own toy line. I make my own action figures. I got the license from Marvel. I can make these fucking X-Men figures, and I sell them using my 3D printer. You pay me money. I want to probably still at some point spend my money at one of those fucking things that's going to end up paying to one of those fucking 17 companies. And I don't know. It's like, to one degree, it's like, what can we do about it? Well, there's a lot we could do, but collectively as a country, 330 million people have to all be on board.
I mean, it's super crazy, the whole COVID shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. We both listened to the Ice Cube podcast, which was amazing.
Oh, my God. Fucking a good listen, dude.
So I always joke about what celebrities would we want to join the Colompton Social Club. We called it that. I was like, I had named a few. Ice Cube now gets to join.
Well, Cube was like, yo, as soon as I saw his name, I saw Ice Cube, was like, oh, I'm listening to that. They're like, by all means necessary, I got to hear this episode, and it was a treat.
It's funny, he talks really slow, but it's kind of because he thinks out everything before he speaks. Mm-hmm. So it's a little like slow pace, but I was like, it reminded me of like how Elon Musk talks, of just someone. They don't just blurt something out without thinking about it for a second.
Oh, I love doing that. Like we
Oh,
aren't.
that's how we are.
We aren't checking
That's
no
why
facts.
we're not Elon Musk or Ice Cube.
Like I have the iPad here.
Usually, what we say, if we did think about, it, we probably wouldn't have said.
So I do want this, like with the intro song. We need a voiceover, basically saying like something to the effect of like, look, the views and opinions of the Colompton Beer Club are only shared by the staff of the Colompton Beer Club. No one else, no guests, just us. Something to that effect. Basically, let motherfuckers know, like, look, if you're coming here to listen to this podcast and learn some shit, just go ahead and turn around, because all you're going to hear is some fucked up topics. Like, even Winter was like, oh, I might have to check it. I was like, nah. Like, I think Winter would be fine. I think Winter would be on board. I don't think, I feel like her girlfriend probably wouldn't. I think her girlfriend would be like, these are your friends?
Yeah, because it's weird is we're not either side of like, if you're woke, you probably won't like us. If you're Trump supporting, you probably won't like us.
Well, I think the thing is, though, too, is that when it comes to like what opinions are of things, you know, we say what we feel, we say what we're thinking, and sometimes those can change, though. Like I could say something one week and then change the next week. And the thing is, though, people want you to fall on one side or the other, and it's just not that simple. For some people, it is. Like, you know, if you say, if you ask me, like, Dante, do you favor abortion? I'm going to say no. Does that make me pro-life? No. But they would think I am. Like, look, I'm just not a fan of abortion. It's not something I would do. You know why? Because I'm not going to get pregnant. But also, too, I don't fucking care. Like, if you want to go fucking get scraped, go get scraped, doggy. Do what you got to do. But then people are like, oh, so you're pro this or you're pro that. You know what? How do I feel about guns? I don't want one. You want a gun? Take one. You want to go shooting? We should go shooting. I think we mentioned this last episode. Let's go shooting.
Yeah, like I said, I've never shot a real gun.
Like, I did it once when I was a kid. You know, Detroit.
Do you think, you know what I was wondering the other days, do you think Shadowland still exists?
I was thinking about that this week. I was like, I think I want to do laser tag.
Yeah, because then I asked Bea, I was like, would you ever do laser tag? She's like, yeah.
Like, why wouldn't
I
she?
was like, the Shadowlands? I'm about to look at
I remember last time I went to Shadowland.
Shadowland was tight in that. Because our original one we went to was Photon.
Yeah.
And Photon was cool, but you got your little score on the screen. And then Shadowland was advanced. They gave you a little printout of your stats.
So I remember going to Shadowland with Cedric and Lel, and I remember like I couldn't fucking see, and I ran into the wall and just fell to the ground, and some little punk kid just came up and lit me up. I was like, oh, I think you could like shoot, but you couldn't like, you know, shoot repeatedly. So it was like you shoot and then there's like a time.
Permanently closed, the one in
Eat
Colombia.
a dick. Let's find another.
But I see there might be one in Gaithersburg.
Ooh. It's a hike, but it might be worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like there is one in Gaithersburg.
All right, now I'm gonna pause.
So the thing with Shadowland,
I'm gonna
is
pause
you could
because I gotta
shoot the
go.
little-
I gotta go piss real quick. Unless you want to talk to the microphone by yourself, like I did. I mean, I carried the fuck out of the show, but I'm gonna go piss.
Gonna send us a question.
Oh yeah. Guess we're. Hey, you're on the air. Send these
Can I
questions.
what?
Yeah, it looks good there. But I like it.
All right. So
Just getting all in the mood. So, oh, we're on live too.
Oh my god.
She saw my haircut. She's all.
like, oh, drip, drip. Good lord.
Is it dripping?
What the fuck? Like, hey man.
Send me the questions, okay? All right.
No personal
Bye
attacks.
bye. Yeah, no personal attacks. Bye.
So yeah, Shadowland. If we can find some sort of laser tag, let's make it happen. That's fun times. Not like.
Would you ever do paintball?
No, I'm fuck no. You ain't shooting me. Like
It's fun.
Sarah
it
did
will leave
paintball.
a bruise.
Yeah, I'm not into bruises. Well, it's fucked up because it's like I say that, but then I go and do jujitsu and fucking get bruised up and.
The thing is,
up,
it makes you
but-
not want to get hit. Of like,
Well, yeah,
but like laser tag, you don't care.
I'm pretty sure getting shot makes you not want to get shot.
But laser
too.
tag, like,
I mean, I don't give a
just walk
fuck.
around getting shot. Like,
give a fuck.
Who the fuck shooting me?
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, I don't care. I'm not into getting hurt. I mean, kind of. I'm not like to weird shit.
It doesn't hurt every time, but if you get shot close range, that shit hurts. Or if you get like knuckle shot,
See,
you wear a mask.
I'm not. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm not doing
I
that.
still remember my old neighbor, his first time playing paintball. We were hiding behind trees. And again, there's a lot of military people that play, and they're far better than someone that doesn't know what they're doing. Like,
Well, yeah.
we were.
Look at
Like
these
they're communicating
assholes.
to each other, like 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Like what? Where? I can't even see them.
Hey, 6 o'clock.
I
9
hear
o'clock.
them,
bitch. Like I didn't even wear a watch.
Yeah. So
Like I got an analog watch.
literally the first game we played with my old next door neighbor, his nickname was Cookie Monster. Anyways, we're getting like shot at, so we're behind trees, and I'm there this way. I'm facing you. He's behind another tree that way. And I'll never forget. It'd been like 3 minutes into the game. His first time ever. He sticks his head out like this, and just wow, right in the vent of the mouth.
Oh,
So he's like spitting paint out, and I was like, "Yo, he's never gonna want to play again." It's been 3 minutes, and he got shot in the face. And it was like such perfect timing. He literally just went like this.
Oh no, they knew it was coming. They knew. They was like, oh, this dummy's about to stick his head right out. Just shoot him in the face,
Yeah,
dummy.
but it was fun. But yeah, I'll never forget. I had 2 funny paintball things. One is I went. There was like paths through the woods, and I was like, I'm gonna go through the deep part of the woods. No one's gonna find me. Yo, I didn't see a single person. I climbed through like the deepest part of the woods, and all of a sudden the whistle blows. Game over. I was like, oh damn, I was deep in the woods. I didn't see anybody.
He's like, oh,
And then another time,
like I went off course.
this time I was like, all right, instead of being an attacker, I'm gonna be like a sniper. And it was with our old guy we knew from high school, BH. We're hiding under a fallen log, and like we're camped out like this because they're supposed to come from this way. And we're both like, I hear someone. All right, be ready. And all of a sudden, we literally just hear like 3, and like 3 dudes behind us just light us up. I mean, it hurts.
Oh, right
And
in
I'm
the
like,
asshole.
Oh, just shot up in my back, I remember. And then, so one of the fun things about paintball, though, is after the match, it's like story time. So I was like, all these military dudes were like, were you the 2 dudes under the tree? Like, yeah, we were under the fallen branch. Like, yeah, we watched y'all for like 10 minutes just laughing at y'all, talking like, here they come. And we're like behind you the whole time.
He's like, were you the guys over there? Like, yeah, don't be Iraqis. Like, we kill those.
I think we hear them. We're looking the wrong way.
Yeah, nah, it doesn't sound like some shit I'm into. I'm all right.
But I shot one guy, I remember, in his knuckle, and it busted it open, like freaking bleeding everywhere. Wasn't trying to hit him there.
Well, he shouldn't have been there. Fuck his knuckles.
But yeah, the other thing, too, is, again, I never was properly trained how to shoot a gun. You should be holding it like this. I was shooting mine like Rambo, M16. So my aim was
That's
not the
great.
greatest. But
Outstanding.
yeah, I'm holding mine at like my waist.
That like, you know, that makes me, dude, that makes my heart like happy. Just knowing that. Did we didn't rate this beer?
Now,
did
let's
we?
rate this one because it's long gone.
Yeah.
This one's called Tail Wagger. It's a
okay.
golden ale.
I can
Cold
tell.
fermented American golden ale. You know what's funny is I don't know that we've had too many beers really classified as golden ale. But it's called Joyhound Brewing Company, and they're out of Baltimore. Never heard of them.
No.
5.5%. So it's definitely, I would say, like along the lines of a Budweiser type beer.
Yeah.
It's not considered a light beer, but
That's
it's
fine.
a lager style golden ale. I actually like the taste, but when you follow it by a 9% and an 8.5, and then go down to 5.5, was
Like the percentage itself didn't even bother me as much as it's like the flavor felt underwhelming to me. Like it wasn't a bad flavor. It just felt like okay, I'm just drinking a beer.
Yeah, it was very typical tasting beer.
Yeah. With that being what it is, though, I will give it a 6.8.
That's what I gave it, so we're locked in.
Because I feel like it's not a bad beer. It's just we followed it. It followed behind two fucking heavy hitters. So it's like, I'm sure if we started with this one, we're like, this is fine. Probably would get like a 7.
It would be a strange party beer to bring. Like,
Yeah.
you show up with a case of Tailwagger.
Yeah, well, but showing up to Skols's, that's what motherfuckers were bringing though. Just
We
like
got some-
fucking beers like that is like I'm just here to drink.
So we got some dogs on here. Oh, they got the Maryland flag on here. Made in Maryland.
Speaking of Maryland, and I only remember this because I saw some chick in the Annapolis Mall wearing Maryland, like her shorts were like the Maryland flag. I was like, good for you. Like, I don't. Maybe I'm going through a phase right now, but I was just walking around the Annapolis Mall, just looking at women. I was like, and I was objectifying them. Like I was not being a kind guy. I was just like, oh my goodness. There was this one chick, like she's walking. She was super proud of her boobs. And I'm going to let you know, dude, I was fucking proud of her boobs too. Like she had those joints on a platter. And I was just looking like, oh my, I need to leave this fucking mall, dude. Like this is the third one today. I'm out. And you would think I want to be there longer. But I was just like, no, because I'm probably just going to go jerk off.
One of the
fucking
more
weird.
recent times I went to the gym, it's been a big thing of like girls posting
Yeah.
videos of like guys staring at them and then they like confront them. I'm pretty sure this girl was trying to do that. She had the
course.
camera like on a stand next to her working, and she was wearing basically working out in a bikini. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you that hot? You can't have clothes on while you're lifting weights? And then I could just see like the way she was looking at people, like, you're looking at me. It's, we don't even want to look at you, but you're freaking wearing a bikini at the freaking inside of the gym.
So I thought about that today also while I was at the mall. Because, well, not just today. Like, there's been a few times I'm like at the Arundel Mills. And it's shit that you only see on the internet. At least I thought you only see on the internet. Like shorts that are like so high, all you see is
it's
ass
ridiculous.
cheeks. And I started thinking, it's like you almost self-censor yourself now. Because, like, I didn't want to, it's like I saw it and I looked away immediately. And there's this thing where it's like, well, I shouldn't have to monitor how I dress. Maybe you should control, your urges. Or it's like, I mean, it kind of goes both ways, though.
If I were a G-string lifting weights, I'm not going to get looks because they're impressed by me. I'm going to get looks like, what the fuck is this guy wearing?
Now, I think, again, though, different with women, though, because, again, you and a G-string, I'm fucked for the rest of the week now, so not having sex.
I
But
think the girls they're going to look.
But I think, like, you see a woman scantily clad. Like, yeah, there is that effect, but there's going to be a couple dudes that are like, oh, I'm trying to, however I can, like, work my way into this conversation. I'm going to get into this. And it's like you said, though, it's like, if it's a good-looking guy, oh, there's no problem.
Yeah, because, again, we're supposed to be the pursuers. But
Yeah, that
when
too.
you're pursued by someone you think is ugly, then it's creepy. But when you're pursued by the good-looking guy, it's
Like,
ah.
like, this is charming. It's like, oh, here comes Dante. Fucking get
And
the
then
rape
if,
whistle.
If the creepy-looking guy though, when he has money, it turns into, oh, I like you now. You're hot now.
Like,
Where
it's
you
like,
going?
oh, this guy's creepy. Then you see me fucking walk out and get into my fucking Lamborghini. It's like, oh. I picked the wrong one. Like, yeah, you goofy whore.
Oh, where are you going? Like, you didn't like me a minute ago.
Why are you driving off so fast? Because
You
you're a
said you
fucking
had a
sack
boyfriend.
facer.
You're
Get the fuck
like-
away from me, whore.
Oh, he's just a friend.
Like, but no, it is weird because it's like being out and about is like, it's like I don't know where to look now. Like, should I just not
and
look
at
at
the
people?
gym, you do not need to work out in as little clothing as possible. Like, you can try to say it's because it's comfortable and it's not that hot. It's not that hot in the gym that you need to wear as little clothing as possible.
So, like, there was a video I saw the other day.
It's a lot hotter outside.
It was some I don't know. Apparently, like, because I like to go to comments, not my own comments, because those shits get kind of toxic. I like to go to other people's comments because they get toxic, but I don't have to deal with the blowback. But this lady was talking about, and I'm like, again, when it comes to most stuff, I don't care one way or the other, but I do observe the shit. Like when you got women that are like, oh, don't look at me because I'm dressed this way. Like, don't look at me like a piece of meat. Like, I mean, I, to some degree, kind of agree with you, but also at the same time, it goes both ways. You came out the house dressed like that. You got to kind of anticipate people are going to look at you.
Yeah, half your private parts are out.
Yeah. Well, like...
That looks like you want everyone to look.
Well, and
most do.
There's this video. It's been going around, but this chick talk about like, oh, when I go to the gym, I go commando, and I'm ovulating. So, and it's like, okay, okay.
Says guys. I mean, if we walked around again, we're not as desirable in terms of the female body is much prettier than the male. But I think if we started having cock cleavage,
I've been trying.
It's going to get some looks.
The dick route, you got to wear the pants just below the waist.
Or if you wear short shorts and something was hanging out the bottom.
Oh yeah,
people are going to look.
I love my left ball is hanging out. I've been trying to get all the attention, but no, you got that end of it where it's like, oh, don't look at me like a piece of meat. We want equal rights. And then, I listened to this other chick talking, and she was like, women get a free pass. Women get pregnant, they could, take Plan B or get an abortion. Free house, all this shit. And it's like, okay. So, I mean, it takes two. Like, a dude could get a chick pregnant and say, I think I'm going to go ahead and go get a pack of smokes. I'll be back at 18. That's just as easy too. Actually, as a matter of fact, it makes it worse now because the woman is stuck with a kid that she thought she had someone there for. It's like we have all these things that divide us, and I think that's like I was saying earlier with all this shit. Like these motherfuckers, all these corporations that run everything is like, they pay off politicians, they pay off the media, and then they put up shit to divide us and get us angry at each other. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden's fucking snorting coke off the fucking Oval Office desk. It's like, oh shit, distract these motherfuckers. It's like, and even that's, divisive. Yeah, because now you got a whole wave of people upset about that. Like, this is gonna sound fucked up to say, but just follow me. So I was telling Sarah, I was like, January 6th maybe wasn't a terrible idea. It's just what they were marching about and attacking about. I was like, you guys stole the election. I was like, okay, maybe if we all just as citizens not storm the Capitol, but like, go up and like, look, you motherfuckers like doing all types of shady shit, like doing all types of fucking stock shit, like illegally, like taking our tax money and going to strip clubs. All this wild shit. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything to fucking help us as a nation. I think they just passed some like $800 some odd billion fucking defense bill. It's like, didn't we just have a $760 or $780 billion defense one the year before?
Yeah, it's shit's wild. It's like the Ice Cube podcast. They were talking about how like war makes us money.
Yeah.
So the COVID thing made so many companies crazy money, and then like it was so true of what they were talking about. Like, because at the time, my opinion was probably different back then. Of like,
yeah,
when you see someone that didn't take the vaccine, you're like, oh, just fucking ruin this shit for everyone else. And now it's like, oh, now that we know, it's like, oh, the vaccine didn't really do that much anyway.
Yeah,
it's like, and we were taking something super risky. It wasn't like. I guess the whole story was Ice Cube never took the vaccine.
Yeah, and he was missing out on jobs.
He missed out some movies, and it was like. But now when you look back, and I was like, no, maybe he was smarter than the rest of us because we don't know what the fuck we took and what consequences we could have from it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like my manager at my previous job. Well, she's anti-vaxxer anyway. Her kids aren't vaccinated, and dude, I'd be sending her all the memes. All the anti-vaxxer memes, they're brutal, like dead kid brutal. And it, like she laughs at it, but you can see she's kind of uncomfortable. It's like I'm just gonna keep fucking with you. It's like I don't care that your kids aren't vaccinated. I just needed someone to throw these memes at, and you just happen to pull the fucking short straw. But that's the thing. She didn't get vaccinated, and like even when she was like looking for another job, a lot of jobs at the time that she was looking was like you have to be vaccinated.
You used to have to be vaccinated to like go to the NFL games.
So the Baltimore Comic-Con, I think this is the first year, like since COVID, that you don't have to show proof of vaccination.
Oh yeah, that freaking card! I forgot all about that. It's probably sitting in my wallet. But yeah, I mean the Ice Cube thing. He's not anti-vax. He was just anti that vax because there was no history on it. And he was like, I did all the other vax because there's like 90 years of history on that.
Well, you know what's funny though too? If you didn't get the COVID vaccine, people then label you as an anti-vaxxer. It's like, no. That's it's just this one. Like
that was like super rushed and there's no test. And
you know, I don't know. It's just like all this goofy shit that we argue about and we fight each other about, and then the politicians just do all these not even just the politicians, but again these major companies, they do all this shady shit, in the night. Like whenever they pass bills, a lot of these bills get passed in the middle of the night. It's like, and granted, you could argue, the argument is, well, it takes them all day to like, go back and forth and vote and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure they could probably also say, hey, it's 10 o'clock. Let's close up shop. We'll come back and talk about it tomorrow. Do the shit during the day. Versus like we wake up at 6 a.m. and you look at the news, it's like, okay, so they just passed a bill and affirmative action is no longer a thing. And it's like, what? Like, how? Why? It's not. I mean, that's not even a bit. That was the Supreme Court, though, basically saying, yeah, I don't think we need that anymore. It was like, y'all motherfuckers look like the Crypt Keepers. Y'all are old as fuck. Some of y'all. They got some young blood in there now, I guess. And they're like, yeah, let's get rid of gay marriage next, because I think that's on the chopping block. It's like getting rid of gay marriage, which Sarah was like, we were talking about. She was like, what does that mean? It was like, I mean, it's a state by state decision now. It's not federally protected. So, Alabama looking at you, they could just say, I don't think we want gays getting married. Or I think Alabama or Tennessee was the last state to, like, when it comes to interracial marriage, I think it was still illegal in Alabama or Tennessee up until 2003.
So why did you keep it in the family?
Yeah, that's definitely Alabama. But so it was like, so it was like, what won't get overturned is that, because Clarence Thomas, he's black and his wife is white. It'd be wild if they did overturn it. Because he'll turn like, bitch, I'm sick of you. It's like, we're overturning this shit.
It's wild. I mean, I enjoy sometimes going down the rabbit hole of just social issues of how some things are just so, a certain gender or race can think one way, and when you put some logic behind it and call them out on it, then they're just like, oh yeah. Because it was like, I think it was like one example. There's lots of examples, but one example was like a lot of black women would be like, they want to only date black men. They want to keep it in the race. And it was just like, we want to keep our bloodline pure. And it was like, imagine, then it was a black person. It was like, imagine if a white person said that. Well, like that shit would be hung.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like,
why do we still have those kind of point of views? Like, what do you mean keep the bloodline pure?
So my manager was kind of borderline on that level. Like, she wasn't like, mad that Sarah and I were married, but she was like, I would never date a white guy. I was like, well, why? It was like, please explain. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, I know some white people, they won't say that's directly it, but they think the same way. They just won't say it out loud, because of course if they say it out loud, then we're like, oh my God, you're a racist. I mean, I know some Asians that are that way. And it's like, and not even like, oh, any Asian, no, like, oh, I will only date a Korean. I was like, okay, interesting to know.
Yeah, and that for some reason though is like less harsh. If you hear a Korean say, "I only date Koreans," and it's like, for whatever reason, that's like
it doesn't
not a
seem
big deal.
Aggressive. But if Thor Bentley comes in, and
Yeah,
like,
white person says,
yeah,
I want to keep it in my race.
I'm only gonna date white women, and I'd be like, welcome to the team.
But yeah, it is weird how there's just certain things like that, and there's lots of examples of those. But like where there's tons of like acceptable ones, but then a certain one will do the exact same thing, and that's not acceptable.
It is. I mean, it's double standards. They are a thing. And the thing is about it is just like I almost it was to a point where it's like, and granted, we give our opinion on the podcast because we have microphones. But it's like sometimes it's like, okay, you don't need to let us know that, okay, you're only going to date black men.
Yeah,
okay, we get it. We see. I can tell. Like you have 8 kids
that's
and 7 different dads.
A former coworker, that was literally the first sentence she told me. Mm-hmm. It's like, I only date black guys.
You look the type though.
Yeah. It's kind of rude to say, but I was like, I know.
It's like you just look. It's like, not shocked by that.
But I was like, why did you feel the need to that be your first sentence to me?
I feel like I could have probably told you that first. Like, hey, Toots, let me guess. You only date black guys.
It's like, nice to meet you.
As a matter of fact. I think, though, it's like when we look at any of the divides that we have, it's like, why do we even have them? Like, why does anyone have any of the, kind of the thoughts or opinions? One race or religion even.
I think it's the need for people to feel like they're part of a group, one. Because I've talked about that with you before, of like, people have like that school pride or like where you're home pride. And I was like, I never had that really for some reason.
It's like, I had it at one point, like, my younger mind was like, well, even just like thinking about like where I would live and like where I graduated high school, was like, oh, well, I would like my kid to go to that school. And it was like, why does it matter? Who fucking cares?
It's like, for example, there's a player that played for Wild Lake that made it in the NFL. People were like, brag about it. Like, he's from Colombia. And I was like, so? I didn't go to Wild Lake. And I was like, I didn't know him. Like, I don't feel like a connection to him.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing with Ed Norton. He went to Wild Lake also. Well, fuck Wild Lake, yo. Now that I think about it. I'm just saying fuck Wild Lake for having an NFL player and having Ed Norton. It was like, yo, we got Aaron McGruder. Oklahoma Mills, go. What's up, Scorps?
A soccer player?
Nah, he wrote the Boondocks.
No, but we had a soccer player too.
I thought you said is that a soccer player? I was like, nah. Probably.
I think he played on the Olympic team one year.
Probably.
I mean, the U.S. wasn't very good, so I don't know if that's something to brag about back then.
Speaking of soccer, I think like that Messi guy. Like,
I think he's coming to the U.S., right?
Yeah, like, well, he's here, and like they showed,
I did
like,
want to mention that
they showed like the arrival. It was like very underwhelming. And it's like, what? Because they're talking about was it one of the ESPN shows, Around the Horn, and they're like, the one guy tried to, was like, nah, I mean, they were just trying to keep it private, where they protected them. It's like, knowing damn well that's not the case. It's just nobody fucking cares. Like, soccer's getting a little bit bigger here, but not big enough.
He'll help it some, but that made me think of the Ice Cube thing when he was talking about, because he did that the big three, and he was talking about how the NBA is trying to like encourage people not to support it. And I started thinking about it. I was like, because the NBA, I do think we're going to come to a point where they need to make some changes. One is the 3-point shot in a way is ruining the game. I know it's like a big part. It's a big part of it now. It's too easy for some people. I think it's going to come to a point where I think it's a combination of them. They got to maybe make the 3-point line further back. And they also got to freaking raise the basket at one point because people are getting taller and taller.
Yeah.
Like when you got people that can dunk without jumping now, like this shit's not fun to watch. And it's like something's got to change. But I started thinking about, I was like, imagine if the NBA best players played in a 3-on-3 league. I think that might be more entertaining because there's a lot of freaking role players that don't freaking do anything. They're just, fillers, really. They get like 5 shots a game. They're just there to freaking, because you need 5 people on the court. 3 main. Now, if you had a league like that with stars, I feel like 3-on-3 could potentially be more entertaining. And I'll say this: when we used to play basketball, I liked playing 3-on-3 more than 5-on-5.
Yeah, 3-on-3 you had to work.
It was more skill.
You had to work. Like 5-on-5, like you could have like one or two people that really didn't contribute. 3-on-3, everyone had to hustle. Everyone had to work. So,
Yeah, and it's all skill because as soon as someone gets a rebound, they got to clear the line, but you're immediately on defense. There's none of the cheap fast break points. I mean, you can get a fast break point but it's almost like that would be like a pretty skilled thing to do, like a pass, real quick passing. But I was like, I would love to see NBA players in their prime playing 3-on-3.
I think if this were the 90s, that would be a thing. I think today it's too much of like, I mean, shit, we don't even see NBA players play a full season anymore. So, they're not
and I think in Cubes League 2 is they play once a week, so then the games are more meaningful. I was like, that would be another big thing. If I don't think NBA should go to one game a week, but maybe 2 games a week. That would be pretty
solid.
tight. Like, those games are super important. Like the college basketball where they only play 30 games for a regular season?
That shit's increasing. No, it's more now. These motherfuckers hitting 36-0 and 37-0 and shit.
But the 80s too much. Same with like, I know baseball, you can't really change it because of all the stat stuff. And baseball's done a lot, though, to try to improve their game. And I think their attendance is up this year since they did the shot clock thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have a pitch clock now.
And the games are like shortened by like a half hour this year. And the attendance is going up.
It feels like it's shortened by more. Not like a lot more.
That's a big percentage because I think it went from 3 hours to 2.5. Like,
okay, yeah. I think it said 2, yeah. Well, also, when you look at extra innings, they put a person automatically on second base. So, it's almost kind of like forcing the issue. So you're not going to have these 18-inning games again. I think with a lot of sports now, I mean, the thing is, NFL extended their season to 17. It's like, I think of it like how I think about TV shows. TV shows back in the day were like a show like 24, or even Lost. The first 2 seasons of Lost were 23 and 24 episodes each. And it's like you have all this fucking space you need to fill, all this content, all this filler bullshit. Whereas like if you have some shit like they do on Netflix now, where it's like 8, maybe 10 episodes, fine, that's good. It's crazy to even think that shows used to go that long. What did I want to sit down and watch? I wanted to go back and watch something the other day. And I was like, God damn, dude, that's like 20 episodes. It's a 20 episode commitment, yo.
But I think that is a big success of the NFL, the fact that it's only once a week your team plays. So it's like it's not a big time commitment. One NFL game's 2.5 hours, 3 hours?
3.
So once a week, and then it's like they prepare all week for this game, so it's like a big deal, this one game, which makes it more exciting. Then I mean, even though they increased the games, it's still every game is pretty meaningful in the NFL.
I mean,
where baseball, you can freaking lose 20 games in a row, you still be in it.
It's always weird because like the Orioles are always in it in June, and then by the time you get to August, it's like, and they're out.
Yeah, apparently they have a good team this year, but the attendance is still kind of down.
That's all right. It works for me. Get those cheap tickets. So speaking of TV shows and movies and shit, so there's a writer's strike and an actor strike going on. So Sarah tried to explain it to me why the strike is happening, and it's a lot of it has to do with streaming and just the contracts and everything. Although to some degree, and I know I'm butchering all the information, I don't give a fuck because stats, info, I don't care. But like ultimately, using Friends as an example is what Sarah did. It's like, they had like 23 episodes per season. They were getting paid $1 million an episode. Like, yeah, but that was like in the later years, number one, and again, 20 something episodes where people now are like recording 8 episodes. Like, well, we want more money. I was like, then do more work.
Yeah, that's like the running backs in the NFL.
Yeah.
They don't have any bell cow running backs, and they're also a dime a dozen. So
yeah,
I think they're the second least paid player. The kicker's the worst, and then it's running back. But it's like, Christian McCaffrey gets paid. Go be elite. Go get paid. But if you're just freaking the guy they can plug in anybody.
Well,
They're gonna
and-
plug in the cheap guy.
And the thing is, with the argument about the writer strike and the actor strike now too, is that so when we say as regular folk, like we want to raise on the minimum wage, they're like, well, no, like reduce, what you buy or change your lifestyle or your spending habits. Da da da. It was like when Sarah's explaining this, she was like, no, fuck them. Tell them to change their spending habits. Like, what the fuck? I think part of what's going on though too is I think some of them are getting locked into weird contracts where it's like if you do like a Netflix series that's 10 episodes, but you have to kind of keep yourself available, but you're not getting paid to keep yourself available, so it's limiting their ability to go and do other work elsewhere.
I'm sure too. The movie industry, they used to make it's like the music industry.
Yeah.
Things changed very drastically in sales. No one buys the music anymore. So you used to make a lot of money when your album came out if you were top of the charts. Now I think to be top of the charts now it's like 100,000. You might, where it used to be millions.
Yeah.
But they make money different ways. You got a tour now. You make money on merchandise. I think is a big way they make money.
Yep.
The branding, advertising, and you do make money on streaming. Now streaming money I think is bad per year, but it's like forever.
Yeah. Well, so and I think that's where it gets squirrely with a lot of the actors right now is the movies being streamed. How are they getting paid? Because I think there's some dispute over that, but also AI. And the writers are trying to negotiate where it's like, look, AI is going to take our jobs, so we need to protect ourselves. And it's like, I get it, but also it's like, again, I mean, if people are finding ways to, do it easier and they can make you obsolete, unfortunately,
Yeah, I mean, they have to realize too, you were in a fortunate. Do you really think you were worth $20 million for acting?
Well, and that's the thing. It's like I think apparently
In the grand scheme of
they said
things?
the Barbie red carpet. There's like I guess during the premiere, like all the actors like walked out, including Robert Downey Jr. In solidarity with the actor strike, and they're like, yeah, these red carpets that they just had are probably going to be the last ones for a long time. I don't know based off of what though. But and it's like Robert Downey Jr. has always been kind of that guy who, like, when his Avengers contract got negotiated, he was like, "Yeah, that's cool and all, but I want the other actors to get paid equal as me, the other Avengers." So, they made that happen. And I mean, he backloaded it because he said, "Look, I want part of the merchandising," which is where he really got paid. So, I mean, even in that topic, it's kind of like, well, then, be smarter. I mean,
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it in a different way. 'Cause I don't know that movies sell quite what they did with all the streaming now. People probably are watching more things at home than they used to in the theater.
so a lot of movies, what's happening with them is that, so like once upon a time ago, a movie will hit the theater and the movie's in theater for 6 months, somewhere close to that at least. Now a movie's in the theater for maybe a month and a half, 2 months. I mean, Fast X is about to hit Peacock next week. The Blackening, we just went to see that, and that's already available to purchase. So I mean, you have that. I mean, during COVID, you had Black Widow straight to Disney Plus for purchase. Cruella went straight to Disney Plus for purchase, and there's even all the HBO show movies, the Warner Brothers movies, were going directly to HBO.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know movie theaters sales have declined quite a bit from what they used to be.
I mean, I haven't been to an opening night. So and even with that gets weird because it used to be opening night was a Friday night. Now opening night is Thursday afternoon.
Oh, they're trying to do like Black Friday. Soon Black Friday is gonna be on Monday.
Because like the thing that was, we would always go see. I remember the first time we went to see a movie on a Thursday night before the shit hit. It was a midnight showing, and then they started turning to 9 o'clock showings. Then they started turning to 7 o'clock and then 5 o'clock. Now they're 3, sometimes 1 o'clock on a Thursday. So, it's like last time I went to a viewing, like early viewing of anything, and it was sold out. That's Spider-Man. Spider-Man No Way Home. But prior to that, probably Avengers Endgame, maybe. That was whatever year what was that, 2018, I think. So, since then, I don't know that because I've gone to I went to Doctor Strange. That was a Thursday afternoon. I was one of 10 people in the theater.
I was gonna say, was it the last one you saw? Was
I did Ant-Man in the theater early, and that was very few people were in there. And now, granted, this is Doctor Strange and Ant-Man, so these aren't crazy blockbusters, but with the MCU machine behind it, you'd think something.
Oh yeah, the Galaxy of Guardians. I was probably maybe 8 people.
Yeah, it's like. Well, did you go see that opening though?
Not opening, but it was. Not.
It's
terribly
later
late.
though. You just talked about it last week. That's pretty late, dude. The joint dropped in May. I'm just saying.
Still, Fast and X wasn't that full.
I could say some things. Once you've seen the other 9, I think you've seen them all.
But I haven't been to a theater packed in a long time.
Yeah, Spider-Man was packed, but I think that was kind of like that welcome back. I think that was the first movie where everybody was like, theaters are open back up, and then I think after that, it's just been we'll be all right. When I went to see The Blackening, it wasn't packed, but there were more people there than I thought would be there. So, when I went to see Evil Dead, I was one of 5 people in the theater. When I went to see Scream, I was the only person in the theater. Now, granted, I went to a theater specifically that had low attendance. I did that on purpose. But still, it's people aren't going to the theaters like that. So it's how does that contract get negotiated?
I just reminded one of my favorite theater moments. I can't remember what movie it was, but Brett was with me, and it was packed. This was years ago though, and it just gets to the point where now it's kind of silent, and you just hear, "Splash!" Someone dropped their entire soda, and then you hear shit, and then Brett cannot stop laughing. It's just not, and it's so silent. You just hear Brett. And he can't stop though. He's
Didn't
crying.
do it again though, or something else?
Oh no, we had that other guy. Yeah, I forgot. That story was. We had. So I never seen one of those devices ever, and I think it was because he was deaf. But it was some kind of. I thought he was recording it illegally with a camera. And he was there by himself. It was a younger guy too, and we're just he's sitting next to us, and we're kind of what the hell is that? So he's fidgeting with this thing nonstop though, before the movie stops. But yeah, he gets up and he drops his soda first. There's soda everywhere. And he doesn't even clean it up. But he disappears, and during the time he's gone, someone drops his chicken nuggets on the ground. And again, we don't know that this guy is deaf, because again, I think he's trying to it looks like an illegal tape thing, and then I figured out I think it's one of those closed caption things maybe, so that makes you feel a little bad afterwards. But at the same time, this guy made no effort to clean up his soda, just spilled everywhere. So
deaf privilege.
Everyone that walks by is what the fuck? What? Walking in this sticky stuff. But then this guy drops his chicken nuggets, and he's apologizing to us, and we're like, it's not ours. He's should I just put it back? And we're I don't know.
Oh, that's great.
So then this guy finally returns. And again, I think we felt we were going to tell him, but then the fact that he made no effort to clean the soda, we're just kind of let it go. And then he just started eating his chicken nuggets.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that guy had a double whammy. And when Brett gets the giggles, he can't stop.
It's not like the guy heard it. Oh yeah,
we did get our questions.
Back to the NBA real quick. So the 3-point shot, I knew it was late 70s. It was 79. You know who made the first 3-point shot?
Was it? Let me guess.
Go ahead.
Jerry West would be a good guess.
No.
But was it a shooter? Was it a white guy?
I would imagine so. It's a white guy with the name of a friend that we've had before. Past tense.
Bob Cousy. Oh,
We don't know anybody named Bob Cousy.
I can't think of who we know.
Chris
that's-
Ford.
Oh. Dang, if he knew that. You know who made the first 3 in the NBA?
Chizzies.
Yeah, that 3-point shot. It took a while for it to get in college, but
Yeah.
the way it is now, it's just smarter to play for the 3.
Well, so then they moved it back though at one point. Even in college, college moved theirs
it's
back.
like inches though, like nothing
Yeah,
significant.
yeah.
But the way people are shooting now, like statistically, you're better off shooting 3-pointers because people, if you can shoot near 40%, you're gonna end up with more points. And you see in the NBA, one thing I miss is there's nobody that posts up at all.
Yeah.
Like there's no one because the 3-point shot's too
It's
valuable.
soft as baby shit.
So if you make it a little harder to shoot 3, where it goes back down to like 30% for the most part, then maybe we see people working the ball. Like I'd rather see a mix of both. We see people working it inside, and you still got the 3-point shot.
Man, fuck them.
But yeah, we can't. The way people are getting taller and taller, though, they gotta raise the rim. I don't see nothing exciting about this dude Wemby dunking the ball when he doesn't even need to jump.
I mean, maybe make it full contact.
But yeah, there's no other sport like basketball in terms of like nowadays. You gotta be genetically gifted with that height and wingspan.
Who was it? Oh, Governor DeSantis, when he was talking about baseball versus basketball. It's about baseball, how you got to work hard, and everybody has their designated position, and NBA, I mean, you just got to be talented and gifted, and it's like, I think you got to work hard there too, though.
You definitely got to work hard, but there's a much smaller percentage of people that make the NBA.
Yeah, it's like less players
You
on the team.
You got to have best. So NBA is significantly harder to be a professional because you got to be gifted and work hard.
Yeah.
Baseball, you can work hard.
Like with NBA, yeah, you could be gifted, but if you don't work hard, and I mean, and you could work hard and like it'll get you somewhere, but it's not enough to get you paid.
Yeah, I don't think we're done with the days of you being under 6 foot. And nowadays, you got players like that Wembley dude who's like 7'2" and can dribble like a guard, shooting threes.
That's fucking goofy fuck. Oh yeah, real quick, movie. What did I watch? Oh, so I've never watched Logan, the third Wolverine movie. I just couldn't get into it, so I tried to watch.
I know
it this
that
week.
one got really bad ratings, and for whatever reason, I kind of liked it.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Oh,
I
thought the reviews on that were bad.
Rotten Tomatoes, of course. Like I've heard nothing but positive about it. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't particularly care for it.
No, Logan's super high on Rotten Tomatoes, 94%.
So I didn't hate the movie, but it was, I think part of what it was is like everybody was like, oh, it's rated R. And there's a lot of he says fuck a lot in the movie. I think that's what like made me annoyed because it's like everybody's like, oh, that's the Wolverine I know. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're like well, the Wolverine I know cusses. No, like you don't know it then. Like you don't read, so shut the fuck up. Like the blood, that's more realistic to a story of a Wolverine. Because I mean he's got fucking claws that come out of his fist. Kind of figure he's gonna use them and make people bleed. But
was Logan, which is the one with the brother, what's the guy?
Sabretooth?
Yeah.
That was the first one. X-Men Origins.
What was that? It was called X-Men.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. Which I defended that movie so much only to just own up and say it wasn't that good. But it was good enough. It worked for the moment. But Logan, I'm if you're doing a comparison game between the other two Wolverines, yes, it was fucking great. But watching it, I was just like,
that's the one with the bad reviews. Was that one?
Like I'm just sitting there looking. I was like, I mean, it's fine. I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. This is the fourth time I tried to watch it, at least this time I let it play through. The other 3 times I fell asleep or I just lost interest and went and jerked off or something. And then, so basically, to cut it short, I wasn't a fan. And I think the reason why I wasn't a fan is because so many people fanboyed over it. Who the thing that I have about comic book movies is like the people who jump into it. I'm not saying people can't enjoy these movies also if you haven't read the comics. I'm not saying that. But I hate the people who try to like latch on and claim a character like Deadpool's my kind of guy because he puts his balls on things and he fucking, farts. Like, yeah. I was like, go fuck yourself. Or like I love the Punisher because he's not afraid to kill. I had an open hand slap you, bitch. I had an old teammate who said that. Like, I listened to his podcast once. He talked about Venom and the Punisher. Like I like those guys because they're not afraid to kill. Okay. Fucking cocksucker. But I think the whole thing with Logan is like, again, as he's just saying fuck constantly. It's like, oh, I don't think that constitutes the movie being better. It probably was a really good movie. It had heart to it. It seems like the story seemed like it made sense, but I just couldn't get into it because it's like, oh, he's saying fuck a lot. I think this is why people like, at least some of the guys I know that like this, like, this is why you liked it. Go fuck yourself. See what I did there. And then I went back.
The cuss words.
I love me some cuss words. That's the fucked up thing about it. It's like, I love me some cuss words, but I'm going to be honest. I don't need it in my comic book movies. You know why? Because I'm a grown up. I get it. Like,
Ice Cube talked about the origin.
Yeah.
Apparently NWA, according to him, was the first one with the parental advisory. I don't know if that's true, but I do remember that coming out, and I've heard him talk about it, Everlast talk about it, and Ice-T talk about it, of how Tipper Gore protested all their music, got this sticker that they had to put on it, the parental advisory, and it's absolutely true what Ice Cube said is it became a point where we would not buy the CD if it did not have the parental advisory.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So it ended up increasing sales.
So you know what Tipper Gore's little list of songs like that she had that were the bad songs. You know what the number 1 song was?
I mean, I do remember Two Live Crew being a huge deal.
They weren't number 1 though.
What was her number 1?
She Bop by Cyndi Lauper. You know why?
Was it talking about masturbation or something?
Yep. That was number 1. I think Two Live Crew, Me So Horny. No, it wasn't Me So Horny. It was another Two Live Crew song.
I think they were the ones that got arrested.
Yeah, they got arrested a few times.
And Ice Cube credits that dude Luke with like a lot of why we can say whatever in music.
Let's see. So the first album that was legally obligated to bear the sticker was the 1990 release of Banned in USA by Two Live Crew.
I would have guessed Two Live Crew.
Yeah, that would have been Who got the first sticker? Yeah, Two Live Crew. I can already I can picture the album cover. I remember the album cover.
I do remember looking for the sticker version because they did have sometimes the clean version. No one wanted the clean version. If you bought the clean version, it was by accident.
So I remember Walmart, they wouldn't sell albums with the parental advisory sticker on it. And I forgot about that. And what did I buy? Foxy Brown, and I bought something else there. Both of which I forgot. And I have edited versions of those CDs, and I hate. But you know what? There's almost kind of a bit of charm to it now, because when I hear like the unedited versions of the songs from those albums, I'm like, whatever. Like, fuck out of here. Grow up.
It's funny too is even the little logo of the parental advisory ended up looking tight.
Yeah.
Like, whoever came up with that logo was like, it became a shirt and it was like a badge of honor.
Like, we're gonna make this shit work.
And it was like almost like the NWA used the black and white. It was the black and white font.
Well,
it always works good.
That's actually kind of an interesting thing thinking about the 80s. And so even though that was 1990, but like coming off the 80s, we just did So You Like Horror, talk about horror movies in the 80s. And the rating system was, part of that decade where like we started getting like PG-13. There's a lot of horror movies that are rated PG-13 that are not PG-13. They're definitely rated R, but they just didn't understand. They're just like, just make it PG-13. It seems fine. Now, meanwhile, you got like fucking 13 and 14-year-olds going to see fucking Friday the 13th where somebody's fucking and then getting fucking impaled by a machete. And it's like, ugh, yeah, that's definitely for 13-year-olds.
My dad, when I was young, would be like, "Oh, this is rated R. You can't watch it." But then if it was Clint Eastwood and it was rated R, it's good. I can watch that. Those cowboy movies.
Probably no fucking, but they definitely said fuck. It was like Cowboys said fuck. Like, oh, okay, weird. But there was and then I also watched the Fast and the Furious because I'm gonna go through and
The Fast X.
No, the original.
Okay.
And you know what's wild is going back and seeing them so young, dude. Seeing like a young Vin Diesel, like there's a lot to it that just kind of bugged me. I still like the movie. I still love the movie actually, but there's a lot of things when I look back on it, I was like, oh, that aged in a cheesy way, like the hard guy that's just like he's silent, he's working on this thing while there's a fight going on outside. Let me go out here and end this shit. I'm the one. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like, you're a bitch. Like, you have it in your contract that you can't be seen losing a fight. You're a whore. I fucking hate you. And The Rock. Fuck that guy, too. Now they're back together again for Fast 11. Fuckers. But, like, watching that movie, it sucks that Paul Walker died. Like, it didn't, I don't know. I still fucking like the movie. It still holds up in the sense of just like being a good movie. But I always joke about it saying, Point Break, it was better when it was Point Break. I mean, yes, it's the same basic concept. The movie almost kind of parallels a little bit. The only thing that's different with Fast and Furious is that you don't know that Paul Walker's a cop until maybe a third of the way through. Like, whereas Point Break, it opens up, letting you know that Keanu Reeves is a cop. They both kind of have the same thing where it's different, where they find out that he's a cop later on through, like, kind of some old shit. Like, he had to kind of out himself. And he also told...
he had himself to help save...
Yeah.
Was it Letty that crashed?
No.
Or is the guy that got shot?
It was the guy who his arm got fucked. It got pinned or some shit. So he had to out himself to save him. But he told the sister though. He had told her earlier on in the movie, and that kind of parallels with Point Break, where Keanu Reeves had to tell Lori Petty. Well, no, she found out. She went through his shit. Yo, that's some fucking. Don't be going through the man's stuff. What are you going through? Like, see, that's the shit. If you don't want to get your heart broke, don't be going to the dude's phone. What the fuck you doing? Now that's your fault. Now you sitting here crying now, you dumb bitch. Like, you're a cop. You fucking liar. Like, bitch, sit your dumb ass down. You went through my shit, dummy. But it still kind of parallels in the fact that the female love interest finds out, and then it's kind of a matter of they know your secret, but the rest of the crew don't. It's still a good movie. I still enjoy it. I'm gonna watch the second one probably on Monday. I got to do some other, I got to do my 90s episode for So You Like Horror, so I got to watch some horror movies from the 90s also to kind of couple that in there. So I'm going to try to get through all the Fast and Furious movies. There's a lot. Oh, yeah. And I think Fast X is about to hit Peacock next week. So
I still remember watching Fast and Furious in the theater at Snowden. We're close. I think we were just out of high school. I think so.
Oh, I can't remember when it, because
97-ish, I thought. But I think we were maybe out of high school.
No, we were out of high school when that movie dropped.
I remember my friend BH had a Civic, and he did some minor things to it that made it look cooler. Nothing to make it faster. But I swear, leaving that movie was nothing but Honda Civics.
2001.
Okay, so yeah, we're in college.
Yeah.
But that, just leaving the theater, that was like the peak of the import scene of people getting Civics and hooking them up and those type of cars.
I forgot Ja Rule was in the movie.
Yeah, he wasn't too
Like, no, he wasn't like a major, but it was just funny. As it was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. But it's just crazy, like seeing like a young Michelle Rodriguez, you know, seeing a young Vin Diesel.
She looked different. Like something's a little different with her face.
Do I need to say it?
She get plastic surgery?
Nah.
Which is
She probably likes some
drugs?
pastries.
Something.
Hey, dog, I like pastries too. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
it's the nose that looks different.
like her. Like I mean, all of them definitely look younger. They look like thinner. So as you age, period. So that's just a thing that happens. But I was sitting here watching. I was like, I was tuned in. I was like, dude, I actually still really fucking like this movie. I shit on the other ones, but it's also part of it.
The first
is like,
one's a classic. I mean, one of the best things about it is just the way they interact with each other. When you get that sense of like when they're doing the cookout, of how much they seem to like each other and bond, and then the characters were just funny. I mean, like good characters.
like I didn't get that. I didn't get the funny, but I got the sense of like, the characters, like it just felt like even beyond just the acting in the movie, like the cast liked each other. They had a good chemistry together. And that goes a long way with the movie. That goes a long way with making a movie likable because like I watched Knocked Up the other day too, and Katherine Heigl, whatever, the knocked up chick. Apparently she was a major bitch. But everybody else, like all the others were like good friends. So you can see when they're doing their scenes together, everybody's having fun. Those scenes look fun. But then it's like when there's scenes with her, the scenes felt tense. And it could just be because we know that information after the fact, maybe. I don't know. But it's just like, you motherfuckers don't look like you're having fun. But then you see like everyone else was like, oh, these motherfuckers, like they're playing the jokes off each other. There's good chemistry. Like I think the only time she like seemed like was doing great in the movie was like when she was yelling at Seth Rogen. I was like, oh, that's genuine. That bitch hate him. And I think he hates her. So it makes sense. But whenever you have like good chemistry, it goes a long way in how the movie is delivered. I'm gonna watch the second one, and look, man, if I watch 6 Sharknado movies, I think I can watch 10 fucking Fast and Furious movies, dude. I'm gonna try at least.
There's some definitely hit or miss. I feel like the second one wasn't great. The third one went Tokyo Drift.
I feel like the second one wasn't terrible.
Wasn't the second? Was the second one when they brought in Tyrese?
Yes. I just felt like the second one, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't needed. Because it's one of those stories where it's like, where does this go from there? At the end, he gives them the car. It's like, oh, I owe you a 10-second car, and it could have been done. You could have left it there.
Well, I'm sure that was they probably had no intention for a second one in the original.
No. Well, I mean, in most
Then
cases,
it killed it.
in most cases, that is how it is, though. Oh, this made money. Let's make some more. Like Insidious, the way that first Insidious ended, perfect. And I say it's perfect because I love movies that end in a fucked up way, where like the good guys lost. And I was like, oh my god, like leave it there. And I remember going back to work when we worked at the one job together, and one of our coworkers, we were both talking about it, and like at the same time, I go, they can leave it on, and she goes, they should make another. And I was like, no, they shouldn't make another. Like, this is a great way to end a movie. Like, leave it there. Leave people guessing. Leave it open to your own imagination. He was like, no, they got to make more because we need to know more of the story. I was like, no, we don't. And then they made the 5th one just released this weekend. And it's like, which I haven't heard anything good or bad about it, but it is picking up where the second one kind of not left off, but it's like, the son is in college now. Like the second one picks up where the first one leaves off, and then the 5th one is basically a continuation of their story, where 3 and 4 is like some other bullshit. So it's like sometimes you don't need extra movies. Just fucking leave shit alone. Like again, we got fucking 10 coming up, 11 Fast and fucking
what
Furious
is the
movies.
record for the most? And what's wild is Fast and Furious for how many they've done, and there's been times where it's a little bit silly, and then it gets good again. You're like, oh, back in. Like Fast X, I was like, I'm back in.
Fast X looks fun. Like I can't tell you how
The
excited
one
I
they
am
were
to see that
driving,
movie.
I forget which one it was, but they're driving through the buildings in Dubai, that was a little ridiculous. When jumped from building to building in the car.
Let's see.
Oh,
here.
the spaceship one was a little ridiculous, but Fast X was like really good. And it's like, what is the most sequels of a movie? God damn.
Let's
They
see.
gotta be.
Which movie
up there.
franchises have the most sequels? Let's see here. Oh, let's see.
There's actual sequels. There's no
So-
remakes.
So actual sequels. Well, I got Friday the 13th with 12 plus. Star Trek with also 12 plus. James Bond has 23. Godzilla 28. I don't
I
even
feel
know.
like James Bond though was like a bunch of different James Bonds. And
Yeah, I
don't know
mean,
if it was a continuation. Of
but it is still kind of a continuation because it's not that James Bond is. It's a code name, so it's just different people under the assumed identity. I don't even know what Carry On is, and I'm not gonna look it up. But they've got 31. The MCU has 31 and counting. So yeah, it's the Marvel films. It looks like it's because they're still building upon what they have already. Let's see. Honorable mentions: Star Wars. No, actually, no. Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter's, but those are all like they're not even close to the Marvel films, the Godzilla films were at 28, and they're still counting. James Bond's still making films at 23. Star Trek is at 12, and I'm sure they'll make another one at some point.
I think there was a preview for another Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I'm actually. You know what's funny? They do a great job with their trailers, though. I'm in. Every time I see a trailer, I'm like, dude, I'm in. And then I don't care. But apparently, like the big stunt for this movie, Tom Cruise wanted to film that first because it was like, look, if I die, then we just scrap it all. And Sarah's like, or you could have just filmed all the movie and saved that big stunt for the end. And if you die, just cut it from the movie. I was like, but I think it was like a major, major part of the movie, this big stunt. So, I don't know. This fucking psychopath. That's what happens when you're a Scientologist. You're just fucking lunatic. You're unhinged. You're fucking jumping on couches and fucking on Oprah Winfrey's show. You fucking dumb fuck. He hasn't seen his daughter since she was 3. Now Jamie Foxx has to step in and be like the surrogate dad. Look, that's a role reversal for you.
Oh,
The black man
is
has to
he
step in
back?
for the white dude. So
Okay.
I think
I
he's
know
a
he's in the
clone.
hospital.
I think he's a clone.
Who's Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, that's
Did the real Jamie Foxx die? No.
I don't know. It's conspiracy theory right now. Is that that's a clone?
Because he all of a sudden he was like very ill out of nowhere.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's a clone though. We clone his sheeps.
Tupac's alive somewhere.
I think Tupac's dead, but I think Jamie Foxx is a clone, and I think we're gonna clone Tupac next. Probably
Because-
not-
So
Probably not gonna clone Biggie though, because he was fat. So fat shaming. I'm a fat shame now because I'm gonna lose a little bit of weight. So I'm out here fat
Like,
shaming.
you
Ooh,
fat
is that tonight?
you're so overweight.
Like you fat fuck. Like we're not gonna clone you, dude. That's horrible. But he shouldn't be fat. Like so, fuck off. Like, all right.
I wonder if we'll get to the point where can I have some of this?
Oh, if you
For our
want,
question?
it's fucking terrible. Like that's the thing is like
I'm drinking like a shot.
I'm sitting here looking around. I was like, we need more drinks, but I looked at that fucking Kendall Jackson. I was like, nah.
I've never heard of Kendall Jackson.
Neither has he.
Pino Gris.
I don't think that's what you said.
Grease.
Ooh, we might got to pause if this Gary Tonin fight about to happen. I think this Gary Tonin fight about to happen. We have to pause. We're going to do our 13 questions. But that's a code. Yeah, that's about to happen. So hold up. Well, we'll let them get to the intros and stuff. I want to watch this fight real quick, and then do our questions, and then move on with life. Did you watch a movie or anything?
Yeah, I started to watch Identity Theft. With,
Who's that? Jason Bateman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It was Melissa McCarthy. That's her name, right? She's
Yeah.
always kind of that same obnoxious.
She was obnoxious as Ursula the Sea Witch as well. But, she plays the role very well.
It's, yeah, I was like, she does that. It's entertaining, but
It pops up every so
didn't finish
often,
it yet.
and I want to
I
watch it.
probably will finish it.
Oh, we did start 65 because it's on Netflix. Like, actually, when you pulled up, we were watching 65, and so I was like, we can finish it. It's fine. It's an action movie. It's not. I don't think it's anything where it's like it has a little bit of story with some heart to it. I think it's one of those background movies though. I could put it on. I don't have to pay attention to it, but it's still enjoyable enough where I can look up and say, "Oh shit, I'm watching this." So take that information how you will. I don't think it's bad by any means, but it's also not something that is like, like you've got to see it.
Right.
But it is interesting though, all the same.
I was gonna say Jason Bateman's always kind of a similar character.
Yeah.
I never saw the last season of Ozark, but that was I liked I think it was during COVID when the third season ended, and I watched up until then.
I remember when the show started because I think it was like shortly after Breaking Bad. It was kind of in a similar vein.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes I don't like when there's too much problems that constantly happen. It's like I know they have to have the show about something. I was like, man, y'all just shit goes wrong every day.
So there's a show that we watch called Good Girls. That it's just that. It's like these broads can't do nothing right, and it's like shit just keeps going worse and worse. And then there's what's the show Dead to Me on Netflix? That's another one where it's like shit just got worse and worse for the characters. It's like, yo, can you get out of your own way? So it's like I wanted to watch Ozark, and I will get to it at some point. But when it first started, I was into it. But then my issue with a lot of this is like everyone's on it. Everybody jumps on the hype train, and everyone wants to talk about it. It's like, and the thing with everybody talking about it is like everybody binged it. And it's like I don't have time like that to binge. Like I need.
Yeah, I was like half in it because it was during COVID when we were really stuck inside.
Yeah.
That me and Brett were watching it, and Brett loved it. But he likes binging shows, whereas I'm not as big into binging. And when we'd watch it, I would be playing poker. That was when I got the former guy who used to play poker. No, not addiction, but he was hosting games online. So I was playing poker and watching it at the same time. So not 100% paying attention.
We started watching shows like Good Girls and Dead to Me during COVID. Whereas like Ozark was one of those ones was like, oh, we probably could watch because Sarah's home every night. So it's pretty much put Sophie down to bed. We come down here, watch movies, and catch up on shows and stuff. Now, like, since we record on Friday nights, that cuts out one of our nights of watching movies. Thank you. But we try to, like, catch up on things on Friday night and then Saturday night and then the next week. So if there's something like a series, like we just finished From on MGM, I have to cancel that because it's like, all right, we're done with you, bitch, until next season. And then Yellow Jackets on Showtime. So it's like now that we're done with that, we don't really have. Well, we're watching The Righteous Gemstones on HBO, which let me tell you, dude, that's a fucking gem of a show, pun intended. It is basically about like a mega church. Like John Goodman is like the head of a mega church, and like Danny McBride is his son, like the oldest son, and like they have a daughter who's a fucking unhinged fucking cunt, and then the youngest brother is probably gay, and he has like this one friend that follows him around. I was like, I'm pretty sure you guys are fucking gay, but you don't know that you're gay. But we know you guys are gay. And it's just all these, like, again, just hijinks. Shit's always happening. But I mean, that's television though. So, I don't know. Let me pause here real quick because I watched Gary Tonin win this fight. All right, bitches, we're back. We just watched the co-main event on One Championship. Gary Tonin, and Gary was eating a bunch of knees, and he rolled into a knee bar and ended up winning. Although the commentators are all like, the one commentator was like, "Oh, that's not tight at all." It's like, okay, like it's like sure, whatever. And then his opponent screamed out in pain and then tapped. So feel like he missed the order. It's like you tap and then scream, but he was like, ah, like my leg. All right, let's do these fucking questions. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. I think maybe we've had a few of these, but we've had a lot of questions. I don't know how to answer the first one, but I've never played either one, but I think I could pick which one I would prefer: Minecraft or Fortnite.
Neither. Madden.
Yeah, I only play Madden and 2K, and mostly Madden. It's like 90% Madden, 10% NBA 2K.
Like Fortnite or Minecraft. I don't honestly know how either. I know that Fortnite you have like pop culture characters and what have you. It's funny because they're like dances that like they we know, and then kids will seems like, oh, it's a dance from Fortnite. It's like, no, bitch.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I would just say Fortnite because I don't know what the hell Minecraft is.
Yeah, I don't know what either
I
is.
think Fortnite's kind of like you shoot people though. I see that they build stuff and they keep climbing up. I don't know.
I don't. We're about to get a Nintendo Switch for Sophie, so maybe I'll get Fortnite and play.
I think Fortnite's free.
Maybe
It's one of those games where like you can get like extra skins and stuff like that. Though you pay.
Yeah.
That's
that
like the
kinda
new
shit.
trend.
Let's see here. Let me see, because Fortnite be on things.
So I think you can play it on your phone even somehow.
Yeah, that's what I'm like looking up right now. I was like, can I get a Fortnite app?
All right, bouncy chair or beanbag? What's a bouncy chair?
Like I can't describe it. I think I'm gonna say beanbag, but I think I get what she's saying. Well, there's no Fortnite app here, but there's a bunch of shooter
I'll say beanbag.
games.
Sharks or alligators? I think we had that,
Fuck
right?
them both. I don't think that we did. I mean, if we did, it was
There was
way
something
in the
where I
beginning.
said sharks or something, and you laughed at me.
Like, I'm gonna say fuck them both, but oh, that's tough either way.
Wait, sharks or are we choosing which one we prefer?
I'm saying fuck them both.
I mean, I think well, shark will freaking swim real fast. I guess I
Well, so
prefer.
I'm gonna.
If I had to confront one, an alligator, because I feel like an alligator I can get away from better.
I feel like I can get away from a shark. You know why? Just I don't know. Don't go in the water.
Yeah, but if you're in the water, I mean, if you're confronted by a shark, you're in the water. Can you swim away from a shark?
And that's what I'm saying is I just
We know you
won't
can't
go
swim
in the
away from a
water.
shark.
Fuck you, dude. Fucking cocksucker. Fucking hate you.
Doggy paddle away from the shark.
I want to stab you so bad. Like I don't have a knife right now.
Tag or hide and seek?
So we used to play a combined version of it where we play hide and seek. You have to, if you find them, you still got to tag them.
Yeah, if I gotta choose one, I'm gonna choose hide and seek though. I like hide
Right.
and seek a little more.
I like tag because I was always the fastest. So I was like, you ain't catching me. Hide and seek is fun just because it's like there's the element of like, bitch, you got to come find me, or you got to like find a good spot. So I don't know. Let's go hide and seek.
Nerf gun or water gun?
Nerf gun. You could take an eye out with a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about trying to like blind someone.
I had a good super soaker, but like I was one of the first big super soakers back in the day. We had to pump it up. And it had
Yeah.
like 2 double canisters.
You know, I never ever owned a super soaker. I like all my friends had super soakers.
For whatever reason, I had one very early on.
Like I never got one. I think that was the kind of thing with commercials because of commercials. Like, yo, I want one, but it's like I just never got one.
I feel like that was a gift from my dad, where like he wanted one.
That sounds like it. That seems fair.
Bugs or worms? I don't fuck with either.
Yeah, like worms, I guess, because
Yeah, worms are less likely to bother me.
yeah, they're just there.
I've never really had a worm crawl up on my head. like
Yeah, bugs
do.
just be chilling and like
Yo.
showing up to the party.
3 days recently, I walked into like what felt like a spider web, and then I saw what it was the other day. It was like a caterpillar,
Oh,
like a
the
silkworm
silk?
type thing.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, I keep walking into these damn
that's
things.
wild. So I
Oh,
came
and then
down.
we had a frog. We have a frog often. There's a lot of frogs in our neighborhood, a lot. But there's one. It'll wait in the
fucking
base
weird.
of the apartment, like in the doorway.
Oh
at
yeah,
midnight.
yeah. That's ooh,
So,
that's creepy.
And Bea's really scared, and I'm not fond of it either. But
Frogs,
this one day,
catch that motherfucker.
recently, yo, I didn't know frogs climb up walls.
What?
That shit climbed up. It was like that, and our door's there. And
No.
like I'm like, yo,
That's-
it's up there. And Bea had to like run by it, she screamed.
I just got lightheaded and all types of
I didn't,
fucked up.
and it was a big frog. I didn't know
that's-
frogs climb.
That's
up
not a
walls.
fact. No,
Unless
that's,
it was just that one.
it's
It was a
haunted.
spider frog.
First off, it's showing up at midnight every night, and it's climbing
Oh.
walls. That's not a frog. That's a demon.
Yo, that shit was. It's scary to see above your head.
That's a demon.
But yeah, I would say worms because I don't like bugs at all. I don't like worms either, but
Earthworm jump in a bug's life.
bugs are so. Worms are so slow. Like,
Yeah, you pour a little bit of salt on them.
yeah,
You fuck
it
that
was
whole
like,
day up.
or if it's just dry, they're
Yeah.
done.
Like worms
A
and
sunny
slugs.
day.
Oh yeah. Like when you see a worm trying to get across the sidewalk, it's like, yo, you chose the wrong path in life. Like, why are you out?
Planning or going with the flow.
That's a mixed bag for me because I'd like to plan my shit out, but every so often it's fun to just go with the flow. Like, so I can do a combo too. I can make a plan to start something, but once we're there, we can go with the flow.
Yeah, I would say overall more go with the flow. 2-story house or 1-story house?
Well, I live in a 2-story, I guess, if you don't count the basement. It's like, because I think when you look at like buying a house, they don't count the basement in your square footage. Or I think they do now, but they didn't used
Yeah, I
to.
guess I would prefer a 2-story.
I'm-
Yeah, because even like a condo, I like those 2-story condos.
I like the idea of like having separate spaces. Like when Sophie wants to watch some bullshit, I'm like, there's other TVs in this house, right? Fuck out my face.
In a plane, aisle seat or window seat?
Probably fucking window, but it depends on the length of the flight. If it's a long flight, I need the aisle.
Yeah, same. So the window seat's better if it's short because then you get a little more room on the window, but then and you get to look out the window. But the aisle seat, if you got a bad knee, you can stick that leg out. The worst was when we flew to Lauderdale, Bea's birthday, she wanted to sit at the window. So I was like, God damn it, that means I got to sit in the middle.
Oh, you roll.
But because I got something where I was able to board the plane early. I didn't have to pay for it, but basically we were in the A level. But when you're in the middle first and you have your arms stretched out, you claim those are your arms.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it first come first serve. If you try to show up late to the party and like wedge your elbow in, guess what? You're getting fucked up.
Yeah, so if you are having the middle seat, if you can get there before the others, then it's okay.
Now, if you show up and they're already
Oh
claimed,
yeah, when there's two and you got to get the
you
middle
just got to
seat,
sit there with your fucking.
that's the worst.
like,
I had to do that one time and it was terrible.
I don't know that I've ever had to sit in the middle on a plane ever.
So when I would fly with Juan, a lot of times we're doing the standby, and we're often the last
True.
people on the plane. But there was one time in particular where both people, and I'm like, I'm the biggest one in the freaking row, and y'all both claimed the armrest already.
So that's
And
always.
I had to sit like this basically.
That was always a dispute when like riding in a car and 3 people have to ride in the back. It's like you got to either claim a window or claim you're the biggest. And it's like I would just always call for a window. And sometimes Mario had to sit in the middle because guess what? You didn't claim the window, bitch.
Yeah, I agree though. If it's a long plane, I want the aisle.
Yeah, because if I gotta get up and go piss,
That too.
it's just that I want the freedom to be able to just get up and go as I please. Sometimes I might want to go party. Like I might see, oh shit, they getting down up front, or they got shots. Let me run up there real quick. You gotta be flexible, son. Go with the flow.
Walmart/Target or Amazon.
I'm gonna go Amazon
Lately, I'm Amazon.
because I like
I've had good luck with Amazon
since
lately.
COVID, I've only been into Walmart and Target
I
combined
don't like Target. Period.
probably 5 times since COVID because I just don't really fucks with going out anyway. Number one. Number two is like I'm not like I can go on Amazon and find what I'm looking for. If I go to Target or Walmart, I'm not finding what
Walmart.
I'm
You got to
looking
deal
for.
with the Walmart people.
Yeah.
And then Target, I feel is like a little bit more expensive. Walmart that sells the same things.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like for me, action figures. If I go to Target or Walmart, you're paying the $25 for them, whereas like Amazon, I can get them for like $20. And it's not because like Amazon's cheap. It's like just like they do their price cuts sooner on things that aren't selling.
Be in a commercial or be in a music video?
Depends on what the music video is.
I think I'll be in a commercial because I heard commercials are good money, and especially if it like lasts for a
Oh
while.
yeah. Oh, well, and if you become like the "Where's the Beef" lady, oh, you're an icon now. Oh yeah. Or if you're Jake from State
Yeah,
Farm,
we got the AT&T girl,
Yeah.
the Jakes from State
Flo
Farm,
from Progressive,
Flo,
like
Mayhem.
Mikey. Oh, Mayhem, Mikey from Life Cereal. You got homeboy from the Allstate commercials with the deep voice. You know, yeah, do those commercials, son. Get that money, get that notoriety.
This one's kind of funny. A secret code or a secret passageway? I feel like a secret passageway would be pretty cool.
Depends. Like, are there spiders?
I don't know. I just imagine if you opened up that door there and would led somewhere.
I
That'd
just
be
feel
tight.
like there might be spiders though. But that's more adventurous than just a secret code. That just seems dumb.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do with a secret code.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a secret code like shoot nukes. Like I don't want to.
I'm gonna tell you I'm on my way with my secret code.
Like I just feel like there's a lot of responsibility of having a secret code. Let's like get a passageway and probably like fucking show up at a bar under the fucking stairs.
Oh, that'd be tight. Oh, if you had a hidden bar down there.
Oh, I told yeah. Well, you were here when I was talking about initially putting the bar right here. It was like then it just became too much work. The ideal I was like, man, fuck this. I still have all all the stuff in the back. Maybe
It
one
would
day.
be such a. Oh, I just had this funny thought of like, you had a secret passage to a bar similar to like Second Chance back in the day when we really liked it. You just disappear at night, go to the bar.
I put Sophie down for bed and just go through the secret passage to the bar. But then I'd be just like my mom because there's like it was like a little bar across the street from where we lived at one point. My mom would just put me to bed and just go over to the bar. I was like, bitch, I'm not even asleep yet. Like at least wait till I'm asleep. Fucking horrible human.
All right, last question. Would you prefer to be a dog or a cat?
I think dogs are more loved.
Well, dog, I mean, you're going to pretty much like a belly or a back scratch.
Yeah. But cats get those too. But
Fed.
cats are bitches though.
Cats, you get more independence because I feel like dogs are very dependent on their owners to feed them. Cats, you can go out on adventures by yourself. Dogs, you
Well,
pretty much
if
got
you're an
them on a
indoor
leash.
cat, you can. If you're an indoor cat and you try to get outside on an adventure, you're getting butt raped. That's just a fact.
But I think I'd prefer to. I like getting my back scratched. I'd be a dog.
Yeah, I'd be a dog just because it's like I'm getting catered to, dude. Like you're taking
Oh
care
yeah,
of me.
dogs are like babies that never grow up, but
Yeah.
then they're like super cute. So like they get all types of attention all the time.
Like I'm all for that, dude. Like get like, dude.
Everywhere
yeah.
you go, aww.
Yeah, it's like you walk and you're like, oh, can I pet
You
your
just
dog?
make people
Like,
happy walking in the room.
Nobody wants to pet your cat. It's like people see cats and it's like, ugh, you got a cat? I'm allergic to that motherfucker. You got dogs. It's like, oh my God, can I pet your
and
dog?
Like 90% of people get happy when they see you.
Yeah, like people see cats and it's like, oh my God, that little motherfucker's about to kill somebody. Like dogs, motherfuckers like, oh, let's play. Like
I
even
feel like
if-
too, dogs get more like human food thrown at them.
yeah, I don't think they're supposed to, but yeah, they still get like food. Like cats
Your
just
owner
be like,
gotta clean your shit, or cats.
Oh,
gotta pee
yeah.
in- they poop in that whatever
the litter
gravel
box.
pit.
Well, or you could potty train your cat too. Like that's
Meet the fuckers.
no. So I had a friend like growing up, and we like this was the first time we'd ever seen it. But we were like joking. I was like, "Yo, are they trying to potty train the cat?" And they were, and it is a thing. I was like, "Yo, that's that." Like, yeah, and then you see it on Meet the Fockers, which I just watched that recently too. Wow, just wow. Like some movies just don't age well with certain things that they say. It's like okay, but you know what I need to go back and watch is analyze this. I just feel like a lot of the jokes there didn't age well. I like going back and watching old movies where jokes didn't age well, and they be saying fucked up things. Like it's just a good time because you can see how far we've come. Like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. But yeah, I'd be a dog. Dogs are cool.
That's it.
That's all we got, bitches. So, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're just under 3. I could drag it out for another 8 minutes, but I'm not going to. But thank you, as always, everybody listening. If y'all have any questions, concerns, criticisms, always feel free to reach out to us. you can contact us at, well, me at least, at bjj.wiki on Instagram, and Steve is at thor.bentley on Instagram. And collectively, we're at the Colompton Beer Club. And we're just a couple guys that like to have a good time. So if you want to party and have a good time, come join us. Come listen. Come drink with us. Dante's on the brunch tour this week. Actually, I don't have anyone to go to brunch with this week, so I think I got to record on Sunday with my teammate. So you want to do brunch? Like, this really just means we're just going to drink. Like you want to be a real grown up, we can like actually get food. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm not an adult. I'm not, like, as a matter of fact, if I could find a spot that can give me alcohol before 10, that's more my speed. But oh shit, never mind. I can't because I got to train tomorrow. Then I got to record. Never mind. The Dante brunch tour has come to a halt. It'll be back though. But yeah. Otherwise, thanks, bitches. We love you, Steve.
Good soup.
I think I called them bitches already, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye, bitch. Just.
Damn, that shit was dope.